You're walking through the woods. Your significant other is not with you. You see a portal into another dimension, and it looks pretty fucking cool on the other side. Do you go through it, not knowing if you can come back?
What's in the portal?
Yeah. Define cool, Nate. Like, what are we talking?
All right. So for me, I walk up. I see a tear in reality, and on the other side, there is a fucking rainbow Pegasus scampering about and like brewing at me like, come on over, man, and you can ride on me. And guess what? There's some orcs that I need you to fucking kill now with the laser beams that you can shoot out of your eyeballs.
Is there modern medicine on the other side, or am I gonna get scurvy?
No, it's the unknown, right? Like you don't know. You don't know.
There's medicine, really... Jed. You have to go. You go into a cave and you pay with rubles, and you get potion jars and shit.
It's not safe to go alone. Here, take this.
Yeah. It'd be funny if there was like the land inside the tear in time and space would be a place where you could actually buy Fancy Toys Dinobots for $20.
Like, son of a bitch.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound like there's any, convenient luxuries of, like any type of anemones on that side of the portal. Like I'll have to actually murder some people or murder some orcs or whatever, and probably have to give a unicorn a hand job or something. I don't know.
With help.
Yeah.
With help.
Yeah. Right.
You have a team. The unicorn hand job is more than a one-man team. It's like actual, like, it's a team. Like that'd be my luck. It's like, all right, on this side of the tear, I'm in a band. On that side of the tear, I'm one of four dudes that helps jerk off an imaginary horse with wings.
I'm a unicorn.
No. The unicorn looks at you and goes, "Hey, wasn't this something they did in the 80s?"
Probably.
You would be the unicorn fluffer.
The unicorn fluffer. And there you have it, folks. This week's title.
Unicorn fluffer. Welcome. You have now tuned in to the Blackout and Shout podcast with your host, Mike Kincaid.
Can I tell you that Baby Yoda just annoys the shit out of me?
That's because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, look at Baby Yoda, so cute.
Levy Curry.
Some people do all sorts of crazy stuff, like dinosaur romance novels. Those are really a thing. Taken by the T-Rex. A billionaire dinosaur forced me, ravaged by the raptors.
I wonder if there's audiobooks of them. And Jed Vargo. He was always like well known for wearing the Nazi outfit on.
Captain Kangaroo?
Captain Kangaroo.
Didn't he have the...
No. And he's not dressed up as a Nazi either. So sit back. Mike, are you... Listen to me. Relax. Say transform and roll out. And enjoy the show. So Nate, you're hosting tonight. It's episode 147. And action.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 147 of the Blackout and Shout Show. I'm your one-time host, Nathaniel James Armstrong. And with me, I have Jed Vargo.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on and let me run this little cannon. Michael Kincaid, also with us. How are you?
Good. I am doing good. I'm busy, but good.
Sweet. It is my sincere goal to keep this train moving tonight with as many avoidance of sidebars. We're gonna do it. So, Jed, what'd you get? Shout outs? What do you got?
Oh, I'm not even prepared. Hold on. It's too quick. Hold on. Come on, pitcher. Open up. All right, so I got a big call from Ami a couple weeks ago. So I got Play Archive, Final Fantasy Aerith in her dress. That one's staying in the box and going in the corner there for resale value since I'm not really into dolls. I got the Levi/Levi Attack on Titan figure. I got Hot Toys Captain America Endgame. I got that for a really price. Got for like 150 or 135. Well, with the shipping, like 150, because they had to ship that separate. I picked up Solo Chigokin's Mazinger Z and Getter DC. I don't know if you guys know that one. You guys are probably more familiar with the Shogun Warriors United States bastardization of those characters. Yeah. And I got
Mazinger Z. I know, but
yeah. And I got this really cool Pac-Man, like a mecha Pac-Man kind of thing. It's really neat. It's like it's all made out of die cast, and it's like if Pac-Man made like a mech of himself. So it's like this Pac-Man robot, and it has like the 4 ghosts around him and stuff. It's really cool. Bandai did that,
nice.
And that's all I got. Let's see, shout outs, plugs. Fuck you, John Bailey. Shout out to, I should say plug, Hidden Toys. Check us out on hiddentoys.net and Etsy. I also forgot to mention, I also got Virtus, which was like, one of those things that never thought would happen, but actually did.
Yeah.
It was so monumental. I completely forgot about it. 5 years in waiting,
Both you and Mike got that.
We did.
Yes.
Yep. Like I mentioned before, everyone in the chat, I'm kind of disappointed. And Mike, you had some problems with yours too, with wearing off and stuff like that.
Well, no, it didn't wear off. It actually came out of the box like that.
Well, the way it comes in car mode, and the freaking shoulders are like folded inward on each other. So probably all the shipping and everything, and if it moving around, being shaken and rattled, they just rub together, and then it just wore itself off, I bet.
Yeah, it was weird because I could tell it didn't happen when I transformed it, because of like, if you see how it's wore, it's not like it's like it looked like it was scraped off. It almost looked like a defect, like there was a little tiny bit of bubbling around the one edge of where,
like a flake.
Yeah, no, not even like a flake. It was like it was raised, like it wasn't. It was almost like bubbled up a tiny hair. It's hard to explain, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but the good news is that I hit up KFC right away, or not KFC, X-Transbots right away. Well, same difference, and told them about it. And my replacement part's on the way already, so that's good.
Awesome. That's the way it should be. Well, no, it should come perfect.
Well, yeah. Well, the bummer about it is I had to pay for shipping. $7 for shipping.
Yeah, they always get you. Oh shit! You should have been like, and my buddy also still needs the back of a Motormaster head. Thanks.
But yeah, I know I had the opposite problem that you had, but like the ports on the hands on mine, it won't hold anything. They're like, it'll just fall right out.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. My guns fit in my gun. Well, actually, I didn't try the more silvery looking gun. I did the more cartoon. Mm-hmm. I have them displayed with the more cartoon colored gun. Mm-hmm. And that one fit perfect in both hands. And then the sword, I did have a little bit of an issue getting it into the hand, but it was just like super tight. And then once it popped in, it's like super firm. But that was a little overly tight. But I'd rather have it obviously a little overly tight than just having it flopping out. That's a bummer.
Telling you guys should switch weapons. See what happens.
Yeah, or hands.
I would, Jed. I would. Next time you come over, bring that unit with you, and I'll try your sword on mine, and you can try yours. And if we both got a good fit, then we'll just trade them out.
Yeah. I didn't do anything with the stand too. Did you transform yours into a chopper? Try to put it on the stand?
Not yet. No, not yet.
No. Yeah, it's something with the stand. It just doesn't. It doesn't hold it right. It's like useless. So,
ooh.
Oh, yeah. 5 years. I expected something, but it was really odd because like Perceptor is solid, like really well done and solid and like painted well and stuff. And this, I don't know.
Anytime you get one of these figures that they've had on the burner for that long, you're working with an old design and kind of like lackadaisical. Oh, we should release this. Do we have to? Yeah, there's a lot of pre-orders out for it. We really have to.
Yeah, 5 years later. And I think the thing that I hate the most is the paint on the front where the grill is. I wish they would have just not used that color, and it's just gray and just meh.
I might actually paint mine like where the intakes should be, just to a darker color, just to give it a little bit more of the illusion that there's a little bit of a deeper thing there. Because that's the one thing that I liked about Apache actually better than Virtus, was like it was real, you know. And I'm not sure. Once I get into more of the transformation and stuff like that, I guess maybe we'll find out that there was a reason, because they had to stuff some shit back up in there probably.
No, that's the weird part. Like when I was looking at that stuff, there's a lot of space.
Really?
When looking at the backpack design and how they made it, it just boggles my mind, because the part where you have the arms folded in and the hands and everything, it's just empty. Yeah. There's nothing there. Like I don't get it.
So you feel like they could have collapsed the backpack a little bit closer to his back?
They could have did that, or they could have recessed the grills. They could have did, and it's not like it's the grill part is like, do you remember those older like 80s funny car, the racing cars?
Yeah. You
remember how like the body would the whole body would lift off the chassis? Uh-huh. Yeah. And that's how this is, like just kind of lifts right off, the main body. It's like it's just kind of like a shell. I don't know. You know what? Whatever. It's just I just guess I'm just happy I'm happy to have it.
See, I probably the more that I hear about it, the more I'm kind of thinking that maybe I lucked out with my copy. Yeah, because my copy was like really solid on all counts. All the tolerances seems pretty good, and all the the hardware, all the ratchets and everything like that were working properly, and like everything.
Mine's pretty good that way too. It's just like things that I just don't understand why they made those choices. Like when you do the backpack, you would think that because there's all that test jet, that you could like kind of maneuver the one flap a certain way so it kind of sticks inward, and that way the backpack would go flush with his back, but it doesn't. It just kind of it kind of turns over a certain way, and when that way so that it fits, into the tab right, it leaves like this maybe 1 millimeter space gap between the back and the backpack, and you can see right through it through the other side. I hate that shit. It's not as bad as like like hot rod or anything like that, but it's you can fucking see right through it. You can shine a light through it. I hate being able to see through a fucking a robot mode like that.
Yeah.
Is it?
But I'll tell you what, legs are solid.
The legs are solid, and the legs are clean as fuck, man. Like I really did. Like I was up in the air on it. I didn't get this to replace Apache. I got this to because I just wanted to see which one I was going to end up liking better. And it's like, man, after I saw how the X Transbots one was done, as both as an action figure and like as a transformer, I just felt like the legs that you just mentioned, man, they clean up so nice from all sides and shit like that. And like the Apache kind of had these yellow parts on the back, and I don't know, just. Even though the backpack on the X Transbots one was bigger, I felt like it was more placed, like it was higher on his back. It looked like it had purpose. And then like the Fans Toys one is closer to the back, but it's like lower, which I don't like because it gives the illusion of like a hunchback a little bit.
Right.
And one thing that really always annoyed the shit out of me, and Fans Toys has done this on multiple figures. The other one off the top of my head that I could think of is Fluffer. They also did this on, and there's probably more that I have to go look at them, but if you imagine you're pointing both you got your arms at your sides and you raise them both forward, like you're pointing two guns straight ahead. Apache cannot then move his arms outward to stand at a T. In order, you could do it when you got Apache's arms at his side, you can raise his arms straight out to a T. But if you raise his arms forward, then you can't push them outward then. Right. Zero movement. And it's like, and that seems like such a common movement, like pointing a gun every which way. In order to get Apache to do that, you have to like raise his shoulders up onto the top of his shoulders, and then you got that movement. But then he's got these ridiculously large shoulder pads, which they did it a little anime style, like where everything's kind of exaggerated and shit like that, but they just get in the way, And X Transbots, it's like, well, they look a little smaller, but I still think they look good, and they don't impede shoulder movement one single bit.
Right.
So,
I really do like the face sculpts. I think they did a really good job with the heads. That's really solid. The other thing I don't like is when it's in like chopper or car mode, like the bottom of it is like horrible. It doesn't clean up at all. I'm surprised they didn't have the head there, looking down at you.
Oh, because they got the hands. You can see the two fists. Yeah. Car mode doesn't bother me as much, but I guess helicopter mode, if you're going to have them up on the stand, and you're going to be able to see a little bit more of that.
There's a whole tail where that comes together just for no reason. I'm like, it's like they didn't do something here for some reason. Remember when Fansoy's Snarl, I think it was, that had the big hole in the underside, and then you got that piece that filled it in later, or was that sludge?
That was Snarl. Yeah, that was Snarl. You got pieces for Snarl, right? Or did you get pieces for Sludge? I can't remember. No, for Snarl. You're right for Snarl.
Right. You got a piece for Snarl when you got Sludge. Yeah, that's what it was.
I believe so.
It filled in that hole. That's how this is. Like, there's this hole in the tail, and it's like you're missing something. I'm like, why did they do that
in helicopter mode?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't get him the helicopter mode yet, so I guess I'll find that out eventually.
Like they're like in the very straight back of the, next to the foil, there's like two little flaps that kind of completely pull out, and then it fills that gap, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, the two little flaps for this one, and they're not there.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what the hell? I'm like, all right, well, won't be in this mode very long, so
yeah,
just keep it in robot mode and shove it in the corner of the DTOLF and put a checkbox next to that bucket list.
The same thing I did. Yeah.
Virtus check.
It's too bad. The Virtus coming out and being like, I mean, I would call them, maybe I'm a little bit more forgiving than you, but I would call them at least like a slightly, like at least an above average release, but having them come out and just be above average is not what I wanted. I either wanted them to come out and be the greatest Springer of all time, or to be such a fucking hunk of shit that we both spent $200 on, and it would have made for great radio, I guess. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it was a little anticlimactic.
They already burned that bridge with Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, but they did us right by Cup, though. They gave us right. I mean, they gave us a whole replacement figure. I can't completely shit on them for that. So
that'd be rough if they didn't.
Well, it's like they did it with Wheelie. They made us buy. They're on their like third Wheelie at this point or whatever. And it's like there was his legs were all jiggly and shit. So we're just gonna send you a new Wheelie. It's like, here's a updated one, and then you get it, and it's really like that, not that much better. But it be what it be.
Let's see. Oh, the only other thing I have to say is I finished my arcade. So I was trying to get a video so I could post it on like YouTube so you guys could check it out. But I think in the end it totaled to be 50 some. I think it's 53 systems. That includes handheld, console, and arcade, and PC. And
absolutely nuts.
And the end, it was about 800 gigs, and the end game total was 43,000. I think it is.
Good Lord.
Yeah. How many keystrokes to get all of that compiled in the way that you wanted?
How many keystrokes? It took me.
Yeah. You got to go find the friggin' game.
Yeah.
Games. Because
I'm a collector, right? So by nature, I'm a completist. So I had to get all the games for all the systems. The only one that I didn't get all the games for was just the PSP. And the only reason why I threw the PSP in there was because Brother Kyle asked me to get him the Final Fantasy Crisis Core. So I figured since I had it, I'll just throw it in there anyway. But all the other ones, they're complete. Like all the games are complete. So like every Nintendo game, every Nintendo 64 game, including the Japanese ones and the European ones, all the Atari 2600 games, all the working arcade games that were in the 80s, which is like 9,000 or something. Like, so each system they're all complete. Sega Master System, Sega 32, TurboGrafx, the handheld stuff. So yeah, it's pretty complete up to the point where it's like right up to around the PlayStation era. because once you start getting into games that are like, CDs, anything that was like on a CD, that's when the size of the games can a little bit too big. And now you're talking, 20 terabytes of thing just to complete those.
Right.
So so that's where I stopped. But then I did like, I got all the screenshots, and then I got all the cartridge covers, and I got all the cabinet, images, and I got all the games console, pictures, and made sure I verified all of them were working. And then I made like a splash screen for it and tweaked it and tuned it, and then I'm done. That only took 3 years. Actually, like solid, putting my head down and like really working on it like every day, every little bit. Probably it was more like maybe 6-7 months to get done, but it's done. And if anybody wants a copy, it's free. You can have it. It's free.
Free with your contribution of $59.99.
You just need to buy a 1 terabyte hard drive that plugs into the USB, and you can have all those games. But anywho, that's enough for me. Back to you, host with the most.
Michael Kincaid. What'd you
Yes.
get? Shouts, plugs.
I don't have anything to plug right now, but I actually do have a few projects underway, so I will have some plugs over the next couple shows, hopefully. And outside of Virtus, I got the 5th Trainbot. Did they call them? I can't remember. Oh, Cool Peak. And I wish I would have waited to ship, because little did I know that Green Zone, the final Trainbot, was going to be coming like 2 weeks after that. So I already shipped, and now that one's sitting in my stash, and I refuse to ever pay shipping again if I don't have to. So I'm just going to wait for somebody else to come out, which it looks like is going to be Trailbreaker. The Fansoys Trail. Can you imagine Virtus and Fansoys Trailbreaker coming out within like a month of each other?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you remember the last time I was on the show though, but I was like, man, that Fansoys Trailbreaker is going to drop soon because of that MP announcement.
Yeah, yep.
And then it happened faster than I thought. They were like, how about tomorrow? You like tomorrow? Tomorrow's good for you? All right, cool.
I wonder how long Fansoys can, because Fansoys is kind of putting shit out at a prolific level, really, if you look at all their releases and stuff. But I wonder how long that's going to keep the dogs off. Where's my final Stunticon and where's my last few aerial bots? Like, I know people are still saying it, but I feel like if they keep putting stuff out, so it kind of keeps like scratching the itch for people just enough. But at some point, like seriously, when did Smokey come out? Anybody remember? Was that early last year, or was that late last year?
I think it's been at least a year and a half.
It's been that long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And it's been that long for the aerial boss too, because I remember the aerial. I don't remember an aerial bot for a long time either.
Didn't Smokey come out like right around the same time that X-Transbots was putting their trailer out for the Motormaster?
Yeah. I vaguely remember it like that. Yeah, right around that time.
So that's about a year and a half, I think.
Yeah,
that's a long time ago.
And I mean, they have put out a lot of stuff, since then. But it's like,
they're like handing you stuff with one hand while they jerk you off with the other, because you're like, where's my combiner?
I mean, when you say it like that, if somebody's going to hand me toys and jerk me off, it's not the most horrible experience ever, I suppose.
Hand jobs are definitely the inferior job, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Their last, their number. How many jobs are there? There's 3, and I would put that one. I'd put that last on the list. You figure out the other 2 out there if you're listening, and if you don't know what they are,
those
you're just not watching enough porn.
Those went out in the 80s, I thought.
Hand jobs?
Yeah.
Well, for us, I suppose like they probably went out in the early, like, you get hand jobs when you're younger. When you're older, you're not that impressed.
Isn't it like a fad thing? I thought they were more popular
I mean, I guess you probably
Years
have to talk to some younger cats. Like, so what goes on these days? What goes on?
Hey, hey, let's go necking up at Point Pleasant there.
It's like a big deal and shit.
Would you like to play some checkers and then give me a hand job?
Is that how you ask right like that? Is that how you say it?
Now you just get a blowjob while you're driving down the road, Roadhead.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, 60s necking hand jobs graduated to driving roadhead,
Yeah.
on the way to the movies.
Which is
I was just thinking about I mean, that shit was dangerous. I remember coming back from a concert, getting some roadhead, going about 80 on the 405 in LA area. It was not safe. Nothing about that was a good idea. It was very difficult to keep my eyes on the prize.
Yeah, well, all you gotta the main thing that you got to do is to make sure that you remain in complete control over your right foot, like, because it depends on which one of your legs locks up when you're really getting into it, like if it locks up. Yeah,
gentlemen,
yes.
Cruise control.
Cruise control. I thought you were about to scold us for sidetracking, but
no. I was just gonna say cruise control saves all. That's when you
have a little class.
Please. When you're drinking and driving on your way home, that way you only have to focus on staying in the lane instead of the speed. Same thing, roadhead. Yeah.
On a very small handful of occasions, I actually had like road. This is completely dangerous. Do not do this at home. I'm a unpaid professional, but like actually road fucking. That was dangerous, man. Because like all you got is like you got maybe like you think about how far down your eyes are from the top of your head, and you have to be able to get like if her shoulders are up. So you know what I mean? There's a very small space to look through at that point.
Do the reverse cowboy, and then she drives, and you command the pedals.
Oh, that's fucking genius. Yes, you speaking from experience? Did you ever try
how many of us trust our girlfriends or wives to drive? Period. Let alone
right. Yeah. That sounds like a great fucking idea, right? I mean, if they could put their makeup on and drive and make phone calls.
Oh God, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, so maybe it'd be easier for her.
Reverse cowboy. It's like right. Oh man. Oh, next time. If the situation arises again, which I'm sure it will at some point, I'll suggest that, and we'll see what happens.
That should be a ride at the fair, so there's no real consequences.
So what else did I get this week? I think that was it. I just got the train bot and I got the Springer. So shout out. So this is actually a Blackout on Shout exclusive. I haven't posted this anywhere, although I did tell Nate about it, but me and Ness set a date. So we're going to get married on October 1st this year.
It had to be in October.
It had to be in October. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. But we probably would have even pushed it closer to Halloween, except that between New York Comic Con, TF Con, and then there was a gig or two mixed in there. We actually have a Halloween gig with Social Call. So I think the October 1st was like the only weekend that was left, but we're still able to at least push it into October. So that's good. So. Cool. So we're actually going to do just something like small. Nate's going to be there. Nate's working. Oh. He's going to be doing the photography, and it's just going to be a couple people, a couple family members. But then we're gonna do like I'm imagining in the spring, because I don't think we're going to be able to do it shortly after that. So we'll probably wait for spring and just have some sort of big party that will count as our reception. Just.
So you're breaking it apart.
Yeah. And you know what? I was talking to Ness about it. I was like, then you can spend fucking 4 hours on your hair and your lashes and whatever else it is you're gonna have to do that day, and we could do the ceremony and not be rushed to, you know.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna have like are you gonna have it at a venue, or are you gonna have
Nah, her friend. We're gonna have it at her friend's house, and she has her property is her backyard is basically a Christmas tree farm.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do a little tiny thing there. And
are you gonna like have like a little little reception afterward, or no?
We're just gonna wait and do we're just gonna wait and do the party.
So you'd be like, yay, we're married, and then all right, guys, see you later. Yeah,
and then go do that driving trick.
Bong hits first, though, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, no, we're not just gonna like bounce out and leave. Like, I'm sure we'll hang out. Yeah, of course. But we're just gonna have like the reception type party. We'll probably have it at the same place, honestly, and just invite everybody up there is what we're thinking. So
you're doing like a honeymoon thing?
We haven't even talked about that yet. I'm assuming we'll probably do a little something, but yeah, we haven't really gotten that far into the planning yet. So
cool.
So yeah, so that's
morning
cool.
or evening.
The ceremony. We didn't even get that far into it. We just picked a date and that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You should do it on a full moonrise.
Only if it works out that way. She did mention kind of doing it like around sunset or whatever for photo opportunities, but I don't know. We'll figure all that stuff out. I'm not too worried about all that.
What's that called, Nate? Magic hour, right?
Magic hour. Yep.
Right. The thing is, after sunset. You're limited on time a little bit, because that kind of goes quick, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, it does. But I mean, you do it just before sunset, and the lighting's
right.
Lighting's beautiful, and it'll be good.
Yeah,
it'll be good. You just got to plan. You got to go. You got to go there before you set everything up, and just see how things are at sunset. So you're not setting it up so that you're all backlit and looking terrible.
Right.
Just fix it in post.
Yeah. No, I already told Nate he doesn't have to do that part. He can just get me the raw files and I'll do all the edits. He just got to snap the pictures, take a little bit of video, and call it a day. It'd be a nice, easy one for him.
Oh, yeah, have some drone shots.
Well, of course there'll be drone shots.
Yeah, I was gonna say, knowing Nate, like I could tell Nate until I'm blue in the face, like, listen, don't kill yourself. Just just get some decent pictures and just don't go crazy. And Nate will roll in and he'll have like a trailer attached to his
crane.
Well, he also demands to pay me, so you can't show up and then half-ass it. It'd be like, thanks for the money for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's $100 Nate and $200 Nate and $400 Nate and $1,000 Nate. You know what I mean? Like there's I'm sure there's a lot of different levels of Nate. So.
Mm-hmm. It's like supersizing him. Value meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't forget 10K Nate.
10K Nate's not. I can't even be friends with 10K Nate. Like, I'm outclassed. Like, I can't even hang out with him when he's 10K Nate.
Yeah,
man. You know what? If I've been 10K Nate on enough jobs in a row, I'm not pleasant to hang out with. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure. Anytime you're getting paid more to do, to do something and shit, it's like, oh man, now I'm getting paid a ton, which means this needs to be a gem when I'm finished.
I'll be honest with you, I can get away with a lot more basic work for people who pay 10K than people who pay 5.
All right, let me guess. Let me take a guess why.
Sure.
Because the people that are paying 10K are just fucking loaded and don't give a fuck as much because they just have so much fucking money. So it's like whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that like
like they might never watch my video ever.
You're right.
I'm
like Prince.
I'm there.
They get it done and they throw it in their vault.
Yeah. And then I'm there just to like show people that they're able to spend 10 grand on a party for somebody's 36th and a half birthday.
Right.
36 and a half. Oh man.
So yeah, so there's that. So I'm getting married this year, so that's cool. Vanessa Kincaid has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going that route. I mean, I thought
are you
Mrs. Armstrong also had a nice ring to it.
One use at a time. Say it again.
Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
Oh, my wife did not change her last name. And ever since I was in kindergarten, if I had a crush on a girl, I'd be like, how's Heather Armstrong sound? Oh, that's pretty good, It's not bad. What about, so I'd run through them all. And if it didn't sound good, I'd be like, not even interested. And it doesn't fucking matter. My wife has maintained her maiden name.
Did she keep it for like professional reasons?
Yes, 100%. Well, that and also, she, it wouldn't be me if I didn't marry a feminist. So she, she definitely is just, she's like, this bullshit. Why should, our family name die out just because we all have, I have sisters.
Wow.
I'm surprised you don't have her last name.
Yeah. I'm surprised your first name's still the same after all that.
You'd have to fight me though. Like if my last name was Armstrong, that's just like a classic fucking like superhero type of name. You have to fight me to get me out of that name.
So it was pretty easy to name the girls Armstrong. So they have my name, but
there's this guy I used to work with years ago, and he went to work for the FBI. He was like one of the security people that helped track down like Mitnick and all those other hackers back. And his name was Chad Steele. S-T-E-E-L.
Damn right it was.
That's more of a porn star name than a superhero name. Definitely.
That's what we used to say all the time. It was like Chad Steele.
Chad Steele. You can't even say that name without putting that voice on that, the NASCAR guy voice.
Yeah, it was because I bought his book and I was like, Computer Forensics by Chad Steele.
Speaking of Nathaniel Armstrong, what do you got this last couple of weeks?
I got, you know what? I haven't gotten anything since Cerebros as far as, is that his name? Is that even fucking his name?
Well, okay. Hannibal, but Cerebros is the character. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gotten anything since that, Transformers wise. I got, a copy of the Disney's Prince John, from the Robin Hood movie. They did a Prince John, they did a Mickey Mouse, and they did a Pinocchio. This is the first wave of Super 7 Disney characters.
Saw those.
So yeah, I actually got it from my sister. I put it on pre-order for my sister, and then I was over at her house months ago, and she was like, I don't want any fucking toys in my house. Are you crazy? I kept the pre-order. She has a freaking buffalo head hanging in her living room. She has very different tastes and places where she puts her money. So,
interesting.
So she didn't want it. I kept it because that movie was very special to the two of us growing up.
I have yet to watch that.
What? Well, I mean, it won't have any nostalgia value for you. So, it's fine. Watch it. I think it's great. But I grew up on it.
I missed that Disney movie somehow. Watched all the other ones though.
Well, I know you like to stay up late. Give it a go.
Yeah, I'll put it in my list of things to do.
Yeah. So I got those. I got some more Mythic Legions for more paint jobs. So I guess that would be my shout out. So shout out to the Cabal and any Mythic Legions folks out there. They had a lottery for what they call Intern for a Day at Four Horsemen Studios, who produce the Mythic Legions toy line. And I actually came up and I won a slot. So I get to go in November and just get a little behind the scenes. I'm sure they'll show us like, this is how we sculpt in 3D.
Interesting.
And, but a lot of it is tied in with another convention they're having. So they'll like show us, they'll have reveals that day and we'll get to see that before anybody else, that kind of stuff. But I'm pretty psyched.
That's cool. As long as you're doing the PA again. You're like, go get me some water, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck. I haven't done this in a really long time. Do you like that sparkling, sir? Sir, sparkling or still?
Would you like brie? Would you like some brie cheese with that water?
I prefer Taleggio. If you're going to go with one of the soft cheeses, I'd offer Taleggio. It's good. It's a good one. So I think that's... Oh, and I got an extra Riot and Führer MMC Rumble Frenzy so that I can... No, to not send to Jason, to try myself. I'm going to give it... So I got 2 of them. I got Riot and Führer. I only need 1 more for my vision to be complete. So if I fuck one up like horribly, then I'll send the last one to Jason.
Cool.
But if I do it right, then I'll just have an extra, and then I'll make like a totally black and gold one. I think would look pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so that's it.
Then you'll have all the colored cassettes from that scene, right?
Yeah, so for reference, there's one scene, second episode of Transformers G1, where Megatron says, Soundwave, assemble your strike team, and there are at least 4 Seekers, 7 Reflectors, and a bunch of cassettes. There's an orange, a yellow, a teal, and then straight up Rumble in the shot. And so in order to recreate that, Get Right Robot has done the orange and yellow rumbles for me, and they look fucking awesome. But I'm going to try and do the teal one myself, see what happens.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's it. Now on to the news.
Don't touch that dial. So let's see. From our reporter on the field, Levy Curry, comes Billy Kometz, I think it's his last name. He was 35 years old. He was an American voice actor. Cells at Work. He played the White Blood Cell. He did some voice work on Attack on Titan, a couple other animes, Hunter x Hunter, which was odd because he played a character named Jed, and there's a few other animes that he did, but he died of colon cancer at 35.
Good Lord.
So, yeah. So that's kind of rough.
Shout out to my... Probably, if you're that young, you're probably not even like looking for anything like that, I guess, unless you had some sort of family history or whatever. But, because they usually tell you what, 40, 45, 50 when you should go get your
prostate examined.
Yeah.
That's prostate cancer. So, but same idea. It's different,
but
right.
Yeah,
it depends on your insurance. They say 45, I think now is the age.
Yeah, they do. I keep every year. My doctor is like, "We're going to check your butt next year. We're going to check your butt next year." Every time. My cousin-in-law has butt cancer, which is a bummer. And a little bit older than 35, but not by much, and getting good treatment. But fuck, it's just too many people our age getting sick young.
Yeah.
It's all that fast food or whatever, something.
Fast food, cell phones,
chocolate.
Put your cell phone in your back pocket. Got those waves hitting your butt all day long.
KOs.
Yeah, definitely KOs. Dude, fans toys, man. When you open up one of those things, you can't tell me that we're not like sucking in some weird poison the way those things smell when you crack that case. All that styrofoam.
Oh, yeah. Toxicity, man.
That's weird. I thought that smelled like joy.
Levy just messaged me. Tim Sale died. He was an artist, or he was a comic book artist. He won an Eisner Award. He was 66 years old. He did Batman: The Long Halloween and Superman for All Seasons. Let's see, what else did he do? Oh, he did Grendel. I didn't know he did Grendel. That's cool. Bunch of Wolverine Gambit, bunch of Batman, some Daredevil, Catwoman. Wow. So he passed away. Sorry, I didn't have anything prepped for him. That just came in. Philip Baker Hall also died. He was 90 years old. He's an actor. He was in tons of movies. But he was in Ghostbusters 2, Zodiac, Rush Hour. Probably one of his well-known parts that he played was on Seinfeld, where he was the public library detective. That actor, he always had that kind of like the Joe Friday, kind of 50s type of stern kind of police type of voice,
right?
And acting. He died of emphysema. And last but not least, Ken Kelly. He was 76 years old. He was an American fantasy artist and album cover designer. He did covers for Kiss and Rainbow and Man of War. And he did art like things like Conan the Barbarian, He-Man, very like, fantasy type of art, kind of like the Boris Vallejo type of style, where it was, you got the guy in the big sword with, the muscles, right, and the really awesome painted, background design with the half naked chick, clinging to his leg, fighting off like some evil ass, demigod or skeleton or something like that. But yeah,
I like how you mentioned Conan. What was the other one? Conan, He-Man, and Man of War. And they all dressed the same.
Yeah. Well, he did that. He did the Kiss Destroyer album cover.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
But that style. So passed away. Didn't say why he died it from, but he's 76. Could have been anything at that point. And that's it for the deaths. Did you know Ken Kelly? Were you familiar with his work? Because I knew his stuff. Because I knew Boris Vallejo stuff, and they were always very similar.
I was familiar with his stuff, but did not know that it was him. You know what I mean? Like I've seen all that shit or whatever, but
right.
I'll tell you a story about Boris. Well, it's not even much of a story, but I think he's like is he from around here somewhere, Boris?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because I used to work at this comic book store, the Comic Vault, out at Tillman Square, like where the theaters are and shit. And
Tillman.
Him and Julie Bell. Him and Julie Bell used to come into the comic shop from time to time. So I actually had conversations with him and shit. Yeah, and they were both really cool, man. Him and Julie. Yep. But it was more often than like where you would think, oh well, maybe he's just passing through town. Like it was definitely like a number of times. So either he was from here somewhere, or he had family around here and visited a lot or whatever. But it was definitely a good handful of times that I'm and that was just during my shift. So who knows how often he actually showed up.
Interesting. He was born in Lima, Peru. He moved to the United States in 94. Doesn't say where he lived. Oh, he did the National Lampoon's Vacation poster.
Oh shit.
That's cool. And the European Vacation one.
That makes sense now too.
Yeah. I'll have to look to see where he lives. Where live? Stalker site.
Figure. I picture Jed. He complains about his internet, but I picture him in Cerebros, like just sitting there, constantly knowing exactly where everybody is and what they're doing.
But there's like sparks flying out of the helmet and shit.
Yeah.
Julie's from Texas.
She seemed way too nice to be from Texas. Have we offended them lately?
Yeah. They have a studio in Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, so there you go.
He does live in the area.
Yeah. Shit. Damn, Pennsylvania got a lot of stuff here, like Boris.
Yeah. Who Jonathan Frakes was from Bethlehem.
Yeah.
William T. Riker. He used to do convention appearances as Captain America back in the 90s or 80s. It was before he got the job acting on Star Trek. Anyway, so let's move on to the trailers. What do you say, host? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic idea. Let's move on to the trailers.
All right.
So let's start from the back. Since you just finished your video game system, I did not expect to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game pop up in the trailers. But
right.
There it was.
And it's cool.
You asshole, you made me want to go buy it, and I had no idea it was coming out. I didn't care, but it just looks like a good button masher, you know?
Shredder's Revenge has been like in development for a while. And today we're recording today on Thursday. So when this drops on Monday, it'll be the 16th that we're talking, but it actually released today. So it's available today. It just came out. But yeah, they've been talking about it for a while. It looks just and works almost just like the the 90s arcade game, except you can play as Casey Jones and April and Splinter.
Yeah,
and of course the animation and the gameplay is cooler, and there's like more of a story mode to things too. But you can play online with your friends and co-op. But it looks awesome because it looks like it's like one level or two levels above what I remember playing in Turtles.
Yeah,
game.
I was gonna say, man, they seem to nail the retro look without making you mentioned it, the animation look better. Like the art was on the money, but the animation was a lot like smoother looking and everything. And I remember that being in production for a while because I remember hearing Mike Patton, Faith No More Mike Patton, doing the theme song on something a while ago, and that was a while ago. So,
that was this.
Really?
Yeah, that was wow. You never heard that?
No, I didn't look that up.
It was a teaser. It was like a teaser for Return to Shredder, and it was just a straight up old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle song or whatever. But it was definitely played by a rock band, and might have even been people from Faith No More. Who the hell knows? But Mike Patton was definitely singing it.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention about people that died.
If you say Mike Patton, I'm gonna fucking scream.
No, the bass player from Bon Jovi. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah, Alex Van Suk, however you pronounce it. Yeah,
something like that.
I saw that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't like seeing that for two reasons. One, because I just don't like seeing it because I mean he wasn't like that old, but
he was like 70.
Yeah, but like even 70s like not like if. It's not like, I don't know, if you've died at 70, I feel like you haven't really gotten a full ride. Like when you say somebody died at 88 years old or 92 years old or some shit, then it's like, all right, but even 70, he's like, maybe I'm just saying that because we're closer to that when we are to, yeah. Like, well, that's the thing is like, man, man, when you start seeing like, not that Bon Jovi was my rock and roll heroes, but like in general, your heroes, your rock and roll heroes, when you start seeing them passing away, it's like, holy fuck, dude, like I was 14 years old and listening to these motherfuckers, and now they're.
I remember seeing Bon Jovi when he was doing like a promo for after he bought that arena football team, I think.
Yeah, the Soul. Yeah.
And I saw it and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, wow, he got old. I'm like, holy Christ.
I saw the when it really hit me with Bon Jovi was he did a commercial not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
And he completely like stopped dyeing his hair, and he just for Depends, and he just had that gray hair, man, and it just made him look fucking fit. I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. I got plenty of gray hair. I'm gonna dye my fucking hair as long as it's still attached to my head. I'm gonna dye my hair until the day that I'm in a pine box. There ain't no way. Although Vanessa will probably try to talk me into The Witcher at some point, years from now or whatever. But man,
I think 60 is a good age for that.
To just let it go. Yeah.
Let it go 100% gray.
Because at age 60, you're kind of like you're past being like young guy cool anymore. Like you can't. Now you're into old guy cool, and old guy cool. I guess you could pull the gray hair off a little better.
Right, but you got to make sure you dye it gray though, right? So it's all the same color,
all the same.
Instead of like fucking mishmash.
No, the mishmash is cool. That means you really accepted who you are.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that.
Who accepts who they are? No one.
I'm working on it. Difficult though.
Yeah.
Moose.
What's the name of the hats you wear?
I don't know. Caps. They're just fucking caps.
I call them the Phil Collins hat. I call that. Like if I say to somebody, man, remember the Phil Collins hat, and they'll be like, yeah, and they'll know exactly what kind of hat we're talking about.
Have you ever seen a taxi cab driver from the UK? That hat.
I tried wearing different kind of hats sometimes, Nate. And like I could pull off the baseball hat either forward or backward, and that's like the extent of like what. Maybe it's just like a thing where you're so used to seeing yourself one way, and then when you try to wear something else,
I think you could pull off one of my hats.
I don't know, man.
What's that? Is it? Okay, is it a do-rag that you wear, or is it a beanie? What do they call that Eagles thing that you wear? What's the name? The right name for that thing?
The Eagles thing? That's just a beanie. I wear
beanie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, anybody can pull the beanie off. You know, the beanie's like the beanie is the go-to.
No
like when you don't feel like.
There's no top to it though, right? You kind of like wear it like off to the side, like a painter or a chef would wear their hat off to the side.
No, there's a top to it. It's you're asking what that is?
Yeah, what is that? It's not like a normal beanie you'd wear in the wintertime when you're shoveling snow. It's more like a stylistic type of beanie.
The one I got? No, the one I got is a beanie. The one I got is closed at the top. It's just real long. It's like an elf like beanie. I guess I would like a Link, like a Link hat. You know what I mean? Like Link would wear.
Okay. Kinda. Like a nightcap. And like a nightcap.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but I just like I got a big head, so when I try to put a skull cap on and shit, and like the top, like my I like to get it down over my ears. Like that's the whole purpose of having a fucking winter hat on is like it's cold, so you want to.
Right.
And things never make it down. Like they make it like a half inch past the top of my ears and shit. So I like that. That one is like a long hat, so I could pull that shit like down to my chin if I wanted to. Like what was the dude from? Fat Albert, was that Mushmouth? No, not Mushmouth. Who the hell wore a hat like that? The one dude had the eyes cut out. Remember?
Oh,
Fat Albert. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but not rerun.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't fucking remember. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was pink, right?
It was pinkish, either pinkish or red. Yeah, it might have been pink. Yeah. The only other hat I think I could pull off like fairly well, but I would have to dress a certain way if I was gonna wear it. Would be like a fedora. I think I could put like a black one. You know what I mean? If I saw Chris Angel wear it, and I'm like, all right, well, if he could wear it, I could wear it.
That's your litmus test.
Because everybody said I had so many fucking people tell me over the course of like my from 25 to like late 30s like. I look like Chris Angel and well, not 25. I shouldn't say that because he wasn't around then. But like my whole 30s or whatever, I had so many people tell me I look like that dude. So then I just started like saying, what is Chris Angel wearing that I could pull off? You know.
So you just stated that you have a big head, and you have big hands and a big dick. So is there something on your body that's really small? Because that would be hilarious. You got like really tiny knees.
No, we were talking. Me and Vanessa were talking about it. Like we were joking around about it last night. Like you got big features. Like even Levy said this a while ago. He's like, you're a fucking cartoon character. He's got like I got like a big head and like big ears and like a big chin. You know what I mean? And his big fucking mouth or whatever, and giant hands and giant feet. And then I'm like super tall. Well, not super tall, but tall enough, 6'1", and then I'm skinny. So my hands and feet stick out even further. Because I'm tall and thin, so I just end up looking like a fucking cartoon character. So no, the answer is no. Nothing on me is small, except my ass. I got no fucking ass.
There you go, small ass.
Yeah, I got
Speaking
small
of
ass.
Cartoon characters, there were friends in Fat. See if you guys can name any of them.
Well, Fat Albert's friends.
Mm-hmm.
No, I cannot remember.
Mushmouth is the only one that I can remember by name.
All right, so the one with the hat over his eyes like that, his name was Dumb Donald.
Dumb Donald. I don't even know if I thought when you said it I would remember it, but I don't even remember that.
The dude with the orange hat and like the vest. It was Rudy.
Yeah, it was Rudy. I remember Rudy now. Yeah.
Yep.
And then there was Bucky. He had the buck teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill. He was the one that had the plain white shirt. And then there was Weird Harold.
Oh yeah, Weird Harold.
Weird Harold was the tall one with the orange coat or the yellow coat, right?
Yeah, he had the coat.
Who was the one who Rudy looks like one of the dudes from Good Times? Is that the one with the orange hat?
He dressed like Rerun.
Like Rerun,
yeah. Like Rerun.
Like a skinny Rerun now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I remember when Fat Albert would come on, man. I'll never forget that like opening bass line as long as I live. Like it's one of those name that tune in like in a half a second. If I hear that first note of the bass, I know a Fat Albert is coming.
Was it Josh that posted that This Is Not Bass video? That guy?
Yeah, I think so. or
It actually
could have been Kyle.
Was pretty funny, but also infuriating.
Would have never have
know
thought
some of those things are not based.
I would have bet $1 million that the Seinfeld music was bass and not a synth.
That's a synth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, they fool you because they have all the like where you hear like the notes bending and the slap, like the slap element of it and shit. Yeah, I would have bet $1 million that was bass too. Wow, man, you can't believe anything even when you hear it.
So, yeah. So we do all the dead people?
We were in trailers,
man.
Oh shit!
Remember we talked to Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, look at that shit. Ninja.
Oh, one last question about Ninja Turtles. I tried to Google it and look it up. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. Maybe one of you can answer the question quickly so I don't have to spend so much time looking for it. But the song, who the hell did that song?
I don't know.
It's so like late 80s metal, on purpose, I'm assuming. And I'm just curious if it was like an actual band from back then or if it was a new band that is just trying to do that style, like a Steel Panther type of thing or whatever. But I wasn't sure.
The only band that I ever remember doing a trailer for a video game was Bowling for Soup, and they did a cellar. It was like really catchy. That was years and years ago, back when emo was still a thing and in.
Right.
So what do you want to talk about next, host?
Yeah, I was thinking the Prey. I thought you guys talked about Prey.
Yeah, we didn't we see this trailer last time, or was that another trailer that we saw? Because I felt like that was my second or third time watching that trailer.
Originally, we had the teaser.
The teaser,
and
right?
And that was just them running through the field and doing the whole, 3 dots on her forehead and cut to the name. That was it. This is like a full blown trailer. Gives more story and everything else to it. And then we had the big discussion about, predators and who would fight who and all that stuff, and Indians, and if the technology was better than the amount of people, all that stuff. Anyway,
I must have watched that trailer on my own then. I thought we actually watched it for the show, but maybe we didn't. I probably just saw it on my own somewhere.
No, it was just a teaser. This came out like after that. And this is like
the trailer. I mean, I did see this. I just thought I saw it with us. I didn't know it was It looks good, man. And I saw the one little quick cut scene or whatever. There was an Arnold like moment where the girl was kind of in a mud pit, and
I was going to bring that up. Yeah. It pissed me off.
Because why? Because you think that they're just going back and doing the same thing over again?
I hate, okay, I get throwbacks. I get it. And they're nice. They give you a warm little tingle. You're like, oh, I remember that from that time. You're like, fuck that. Write something new. Figure something else out. And also, if that's the way, hopefully, he's like, nah, seen that trick before. In the future, I'm a time traveler. You can't fucking fool me. I know you're in the mud, bitch. Like, if that happens, fine. But otherwise, I'm gonna be pissed if that's the way she gets him at one point. Like, don't give me the same movie with different actors.
Here, let me calm your nerves. And I have no idea what's going to happen. I think that's going to be part of it, but I don't think that's going to be the end. Like they do it the exact same way, because it's not going to be the same Predator. So it's not like, hey, I remember when that Native American girl tried to shit on me, however many years ago. Like, I'm not falling for that shit again. Like, it's a different Predator. So maybe that's just maybe she gains an advantage through that move, but doesn't actually. That's not how it actually ends. I hope. Yeah, I'm with you. I hope not. Like, I don't want it.
That's just lazy writing. If it's even close. That's just
lazy writing. Yeah, right.
Maybe it's just a mud wrestling thing. Maybe she's getting ready for mud wrestling.
Maybe it is a thing where they're like, yo, she's gonna look pretty hot when she comes out of this mud, and
probably,
fine, but I don't know. So.
Also, and I don't. This is maybe this is a dumb question, but what are they? I mean, everybody is speaking English.
That pissed me off too.
I don't know if they're gonna do a blurb in the beginning, like, hey, listen, everybody's speaking English. That's not really what they would have been speaking, but instead of making everybody sit through hour and a half to 2 hour subtitled movie, we're just suspend your disbelief.
Maybe do a little 13th Warrior homage.
Hey, I was just thinking about that. I was thinking, out of all the different movies that I've seen where they explain why they're suddenly speaking English, that was probably one of the best well-written scenes for a movie to explain it.
For what?
It was beautiful.
For what movie?
Did you ever see 13th Warrior?
I did not.
Great movie. Antonio
Michael,
Banderas.
do yourself a favor.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
You know what, dude? I'm going to tell you something. And you're going to laugh. I have that movie.
Oh yeah,
but I never watched it.
And you haven't watched it? Okay.
Well, so it's. I was like, this is years ago. I was dating somebody, and they gave that to they either brought it over to watch it, never watch it, and ended up just like staying here. So it was an inheritance from somebody that I dated for a couple months or whatever. So it's sitting down there. So if you say it's good, I'll watch it.
It's a good movie.
I see the movie sitting there, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this fucking shit, you know.
So
are you familiar with Beowulf?
It was Beowulf, like Grendel Beowulf, that Beowulf. Yeah, of course, yes.
So this is the tale of what if that shit was real, but then became legend, right? So what battle actually could have happened where then this would have been the tale?
But it was they were Norse, right? Norsemen, and he was he Persian?
Yeah, he was Persian, traveling, and gets stuck up with these Norsemen, and they're all sitting around a campfire, and he's just watching their mouths move as they're telling stories and laughing with one another, and he just slowly it becomes English. It's beautiful.
What do you mean slowly it becomes English?
Well, he didn't know what they were saying, and he had a translator, I think it was, and then he was like there was some type of like a meeting or a ritual or something, and they needed a 13th man, and he was chosen. He's like, I'm not going. He's like, I can't even understand what the fuck you guys are saying. And then he had to go, with them. So like they sat around the fire and they were, drinking, telling stories. And he was like the really intelligent person out of all the whole group of like, big, strong warrior type of people.
Right.
And he was just in there and he learned their language, while they were talking and stuff. And then as he was like listening, watching them, the scene like transitioned from them speaking like Norse to speaking English. And like, you're like, oh, now there's no subtitles. Now you don't have to worry about, reading anything because now the character understands what they're saying. So now you understand what they're saying. And it was
why was a bunch of Norse dudes speaking English?
That's what I'm saying. The character, Antonio Banderas, who did not understand what they were saying, learned their language. He started to learn their language. So it became clear to him.
He spoke English.
No, he spoke Persian or whatever. But I'm just
nobody truly spoke English. It was just that's how they kind of
he understood what they were saying. Okay. And then as he started understanding what they were saying, you start understanding what they were saying by everyone speaking English.
Yeah, I get it. It still didn't make any sense to me because it's like, all right, so let's just say like, I'm hanging out and I speak French and I'm hanging out with a bunch of dudes that speak Spanish. And then like eventually everyone speaking English. It just still wasn't. I feel I get it. Like just for the purpose of the movie, I get it.
I'm not even going to argue that one. I'll just let you have that. Unless Nate wants to argue, I'm not.
I'm not even arguing. I'm
gonna step away from that one. Nope. Just watch the movie. You'll understand.
That's what we'll take out of this. I'll end up watching that movie now.
The whole movie didn't start in Persian, Yeah. It started in English.
Oh, okay. So so the Norsemen were speaking English then.
Just watch the movie.
Let's just move on.
Just watch the movie. Just watch the movie.
What's next?
I'll let you discover it on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nate, what's next? Host. Or maybe he got sidetracked.
Oh, I muted myself. I'm sorry. So that is my hope, is that there is a scene like that at the beginning of Prey that shifts them over from speaking their native tongue into English, because right now it's offensive. And, if Mel Gibson were directing this, they would be speaking Iroquois, or whatever. Right. So I love that they have made a movie where they've given Native American actors a platform. It's fucking awesome. But they should also be speaking their native tongue. And you know what? We can read subtitles from time to time. It won't kill us.
Do you know, I can't remember. It's been so long, but I'm sure you saw Last of the Mohicans was that like a lot more subtitled, or did they do the English thing there too?
There was subtitles.
Okay.
But he also spoke English with his father and brother. But like the villain, all of his stuff was in subtitled.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remember.
Yeah. That, oh man, what another fucking, you've seen that one, right, Mike?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay. Phew. Ooh.
Nate, did you change something? Because you went from sounding somewhat clear to sounding like you talking in a can a little bit. Did you do that for you too, Jed?
Yeah, a little muffled.
Oh.
There you go. See, now you sound, did you just move closer?
I moved the mic up a little bit.
Yeah, now you sound
it. Yep. All right. Good. Well, hold on. How's this sound?
Good.
Yeah, it sounds good. Now it don't sound like anything. Are you there?
Oh, I thought it would sound like a bong hit.
Oh.
Noise cancellation, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Official trailer for. Oh man, what?
We got three more. We got 3 more left.
I know.
Mike.
I'm looking at. Oh, Resident Evil. I couldn't. Yeah, Resident Evil. I don't know.
I got 2 questions. I got 2 questions about Resident Evil. Number 1, this is a series or a movie?
I think it's a movie. Maybe not. I'll have to look it up.
If it didn't
really
say anywhere in the description on YouTube. I didn't see it anywhere, and I didn't actually see anything in the trailer that mentioned one way or the other. So this is like the beginning. This is like the total, like the origin story of how it all got started. From what I
got
understood.
the opposite of that.
What do you mean?
I kind of got, meaning like they were like, oh, Umbrella has some pretty bad PR because we did awful things in the past, but this is a new Umbrella. We're going to handle things differently now. I think it's far in the future, and there's going to be a new release of the virus.
It's a series.
Okay. Oh, another fucking series. Jesus fucking Christ almighty, dude.
How many do you have going? Because I only watch, like, I've got Obi-Wan, and we just finished Stranger Things, and that's, and we were doing Russian Doll, and that's it. That's all we got on the plate.
Yeah, I hear that, but like, I don't know. There's just so much out there, and then and it's all snowballing because I haven't been watching a whole lot because I've been, between the bands and softball and everything, I've been so busy. I haven't been watching a lot. Like, I'll sit down and watch a movie, but it's so hard to watch. I'm not even watching that fucking Miss Marvel, I think, started. I'm not even watching that shit. I'm just,
oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm surprised at how good it is. And
really,
from an artistic point of view, like some of the stuff that they do, it's really neat how they kind of fit like things into it. Like there's a part where I can't remember if it's him or if his either her friends texting, and they have like these neon signs on like a building, like in I think it's Jersey City or something like that. And like, how there's like 3 dots when you're texting or whatever. They had this neon sign behind them as they were walking past, flashing 3 dots, and then like like a heart emoji or whatever. It was a sign at the opening of a door. And then they did this whole like animated graffiti thing on the side of a building that was in motion. It was some really cool stuff that they did. Yeah,
once
really
that wears off, is the actual show going to be like a sustainable watch for somebody that's not like a 16-year-old girgirl?
I'm
not even being smart about that. I'm just saying. Well, but you only seen one episode, so.
I watched was 2. The other one came out.
2 out. Okay.
Yeah, and it's it's typical a girl in high school type of stuff. She thinks that a boy's dreamy. She's having problems with her parents letting her go out to parties and stuff. But she's trying to figure all that stuff out with her life. It's what I thought about when I was watching the second episode. I thought there's a lot of parallels with Peter Parker. Like how
I was just thinking that, the way you were describing it. She
lives in a city. There's a bigger city, but she lives in the suburbs, and like she still has her parents. Like they're not dead or anything like that, but just the whole, weird friend and, the struggle at school being a nerd, and she's into cosplay. She has her own, YouTube podcast type of thing about, the Avengers and Captain. It's, if it's like a fast if it kind of has that same type, but I like it. I think it's good pacing, the artistic, the story so far. It's not going to be anything like, that's what I'm looking for. It's not a Moon Knight or a Winter Soldier, Falcon type. It's not one of those. Yeah, it's not like that.
Well, we just got that, right? They just delivered for us, so now they're delivering for the 16-year-old girls, and that's fine.
This is a character-driven series that's more about her and her friends and her life than it is about being a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to watch that, then you're not going to enjoy it. But if you want that type of show,
so it's like Buffy.
Then it's like, what'd you say, Buffy?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
It's good though. I'm highly enjoying it. And like I said, I'm not 16 or female.
All right.
Or in high school.
How many episodes deep is it so far?
2. Just 2.
Oh, 3 or 4.
Couple few.
Yeah.
Divided by 3. So what about Black Adam?
Well, what'd you guys think of Resident Evil? Oh,
yeah, I don't know. I think I love monsters and shooting them. So I won't watch it. I don't have time for it. I think it's a great popcorn movie for somebody else.
That I can see watching, but it'll end up being one of those things like where Vanessa will end up watching it and then I'll end up watching it by osmosis, basically, which is going to be fine. Like I'm always up for zombies and all that shit. But, Resident Evil at this point is like Fast and the Furious. Like, what the fuck are they going to do that they haven't already done? And how many Resident Evils are there at this point? 7 of them or 6 of them? Or
well, this one's so you guys were both right. It's kind of it's like 2 different stories, and it takes place in like the current year, and then there's a storyline that takes place 20 years ago. So there's kind of like 2 ongoing, kind of like I guess I don't know if it's a flashback, parallel story that's running at the same time, but they're related.
Okay, so a little bit like when the new Hawkeye saw him saving the world. You get that parallel backstory. Is it like back in that era of the first Avengers, or? From what I read, apparently there's 2 sisters. One sister is like in the future. All the storylines taking place in the future in 2036, and then the story with the other sister is taking place in the past in like 2020, and like what's happening in the past like affects like what's in the future, and then does the one survive or not, and all that stuff. So I think they're mixing like a post-apocalyptic story with like an origin story of Raccoon City and the Umbrella Corporation type of thing. Like this is what caused the apocalypse, and now we're in the apocalypse as well.
Got it.
What was did Terminator do that? That Terminator TV show? Did they do that? What's her name? The chick that was in Game of Thrones.
Didn't
get a chance to watch that.
I think they did that. There might have been some type of weird time travel thing going on with that.
Probably some Terminator films I haven't seen as well.
Yeah.
Anyway. So,
which one's next, host?
Black Adam. Which one? Wait a minute. Yeah, let's talk about Black Adam real quick.
Okay. Well, I could go real quick because I'll be like 5 seconds quick. It's another fucking movie with The Rock in it, and it's a DC movie, and I just don't give a fuck. What do you guys think?
Beautiful. Jed?
I do have a question, though. Is Black Adam, is he like a Shazam type character? I know nothing about him, but it looked like he was wearing a Shazam kind of uniform.
He is a Shazam comic character.
Gotcha.
He originated in Shazam.
Okay.
Like Mike said, it's The Rock, but Rock revives franchises and stuff. So I can see DC pulling out of the mud with this one.
It's amazing because The Rock, and listen, I would never say this to his face, but like The Rock ain't even much of an actor, man. Like he's good at what he does. I guess he's kind of like Ryan Reynolds, like if Ryan Reynolds could be a fucking smartass, which he is in just about every role that he does, like then he's really good. And I guess The Rock is like this, popcorn action muscle head or whatever. Like he's good at it, but like I don't think he's much of an actor.
Who do you think's a better actor?
Who do I think is a better actor? Oh, okay, I didn't know there was
The Rock?
It was like Monster Magnet. I did not know that there was a second part to the question.
Who do you think is a better actor, The Rock or John Cena?
Man. See, I think it's a loaded question because I think if I was over inundated with John Cena movies,
they're both wrestlers.
Yeah, but like John Cena is not every fucking where. I mean, he's in a decent amount of movies, but like The Rock is. I feel like what does this dude do anything but shoot movies? Like I'm honestly impressed by the prolific nature of what he does because he's in everything.
He does have to work, you know. But food on the table.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, man. You probably put plenty of food on the table with Nation of Domination money. I'm sure he didn't even need the movies at that point yet. But it's just crazy, man. It's wild how much shit he gets done. You know, I'll give him that much, man. He's you know, he doesn't fucking sit on his ass and not do anything, which I guess that's to be commended. But I'm tired of seeing him in everything.
From our viewpoint, he's in everything because that's what he does is action, adventure, fantasy.
Well, yeah.
You don't see him in too many romantic comedy dramas, you know?
Thankfully not. That'll be the next stage of his career.
But that is the thing. Like, that's where you get their acting chops. Can they play dad? You know? Can they, you know, because Marky Mark was not great at playing dad in the Transformers movies, you know?
Right.
I remember the first time I saw the movie 23, and it completely changed my opinion of Jim Carrey. Well, I guess maybe the Truman Show did a little bit, you know, because that was a little less goofball Jim Carrey. But when I seen him in 23, and it was like a psychological, like suspense horror movie type thing, man, I was like, wow, that was out of left field, and I was kind of impressed by it. Like, yeah, let's see this dude do something else other than meathead. Like, what do you want me to do? Oh, we need you to be a meathead, Rob. Like, all right, I could do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's why people, like, you know, they don't want to be typecast.
Yeah.
Then they are. And it's pretty easy to do. So, anything else to say about Black Adam before we move on to what? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of that, I read an article where Jack Nicholson had told Michael Keaton to do like 4 or 5 bomb shitty movies after he filmed Batman so that he wouldn't be typecast.
To wash the taste of Batman out of everybody's mouth?
Yeah, so that he wouldn't be like, oh, well, this guy's going to be, you know, Batman forever now, like Adam West.
Right.
Keaton was good in Batman.
No pun intended.
But
no, I mean, so that you wouldn't
just be, but you wouldn't just be like, oh, that. Right. And you can only play Batman or you don't play anyone. Right. If you're not Bruce Wayne, I'm not hiring you. Yeah.
See, like Michael Keaton is a hell of an actor, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is. He's really good. So is Jack Nicholson.
But I'd love to know what those bomb movies. We should look at the filmography and see what the following 4 movies are, because I bet they became not bombs simply by virtue of having Michael Keaton being in them.
One was Batman 2. So there was that one.
Oh,
that doesn't count.
That did bomb, but it was fucking good. That was a good Batman. Boogie Boo, are you ready? Oh, sorry, my child just came upstairs.
Oh,
I will put myself on mute.
Mike, you should now address me as Boogie Boo.
Boogie Boo.
What did you think of Nope? It's the final trailer there, Michael.
Nope. I'm gonna tell you what tripped me out about Nope. It was like, I love Jordan Peele movies, by the way. And it was like, but it tripped me out as like, all right, man, you just show me like a black cowboy and a Chinese cowboy. It was so weird. Like, it's like you're just not used to seeing that shit, man. Was that Glenn? That looked like Glenn from Walking Dead. Is that who that was? The Asian cowboy guy?
I don't know. I gotta look at the cast.
I'm pretty sure it was Glenn from Walking Dead, but I don't know. It whatever it is, it looks fucking far-fetched alien movie. Like, it looked like this family is getting ready to fight the aliens, which just on the premise is ridiculous. You know what I mean? But I have complete and total trust in Jordan Peele as a horror movie, you know, guy, and I'll probably end up I shouldn't even say probably. I'll definitely end up watching that shit because it'll be good. It'll be entertaining one way or another.
Yeah, I think it will be too. I do remember Levy saying that April thought that he's jumping the shark because he's doing Aliens, and like this will be that movie that doesn't do well.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but there's a lot of good alien movies out there. But I guess it all depends. I mean, dude, Lovecraft County or whatever, Lovecraft Country, that was as tripped out as you're gonna get, and that had some alien type shit in it as well.
Did you take notice that Michael Wincott was in it?
Michael Wincott, who's that?
Bad guy from The Crow.
Top Dollar? The main bad guy?
Yeah, the guy with the long hair and the sword. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember where he was in the trailer.
He was the guy with the short hair, and he still had that voice. Yeah, that duff, rough voice.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again, but not it. Well, you know what? You're so used to seeing him as Top Dollar, which, by the way, I was how old am I? I'm 45. I was 45 years old when I realized that dude's name was Top Dollar, and I don't think Vanessa knew. Vanessa's a huge Crow fan. We were like looking up characters in the movie, and I'm like, that dude's name is Top Dollar. That was his name, dude. I don't even remember them calling him that shit. They probably did, but
they all had weirds.
Yeah, Top Dollar. I just didn't remember Top Dollar when I saw it. Another thing I'd like to point out about
Skank. Was that the one? Skank?
Who Tony Todd's character or the girl's character?
No.
I don't remember anybody's name. In The Crow?
In The Crow. The Crow.
Yeah, right.
The dumbass. Was this his name? Skank?
Possibly.
And then who was the guy from the Warriors? What was his name? T-Bird, right?
I'm looking up the cast right now.
T-Bird, Skank,
Top Dollar, Fun Boy.
Fun Boy. That was the other guy. Yeah.
The cute Asian girl was Mika. Tintin, T-Bird. Tony Todd was Grange. Skank. Yeah, that dude's name was Skank. Yeah. Angel David.
He said they all have weird names.
Yeah, they did have weird names. Yeah, but nope. Yeah. So he threw Land of Confusion, Ball of Confusion into that trailer, which, by the way, not that it's totally worth mentioning, but that's one of my favorite Temptation songs, man. Ball of Confusion. And Ball of Confusion is a cool song because Ball of Confusion is just as relevant, like if you really listen to the song, is just as relevant like right now in 2022 as it ever was. But great song. You ever hear Anthrax cover that?
I think so.
No. Anthrax did a pretty good cover of Ball of Confusion, man. It doesn't quite have that groove, like, because they're metal guys, and metal guys have a rough time grooving sometimes and shit, but it's still pretty good, though. It's still pretty good.
I found out with the Splash video for that Ultimate Arcade. I wanted to find like a Peter Gunn metal cover.
Yeah.
And Gary Howe did it. And I was like, wow,
no shit. Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is great. Huh. Yeah, it was really good.
That's I've only ever I'm sure I've heard other stuff from him, but like they used to play the shit out of that Hocus Pocus, his cover of Hocus Pocus on ZZO all the time back when I was subjected to that radio station. But yeah, man, Ball of Confusion, what a great fucking song that is, man.
What do you think, Nate? What do you think
about that? I think that he's doing some amazing movies, and it's going to be. I think the music's going to be great. I think the camera work is going to be phenomenal. The lighting looks just perfect. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. And I love me some Aliens. I like Aliens and Cowboys. That was one of my favorite movies of that couple of year period. Or Cowboys and Aliens, sorry. Just because my theory on movies is they are our make-believe. They are let's play pretend, except with billions of dollars, like just you get to do whatever the fuck you want. And these guys they raise horses and they fight aliens, like that's just, and they're going to listen to awesome music and groove and like laugh and cry in ways that, we're not used to seeing. So it's going to be cool.
Speaking about Cowboys, I watched that Outer Range with Josh Brolin.
How's that?
Remember that one? It was good. I liked it.
I didn't see it. What year is that?
Just came out. We actually talked about it. It was one of the trailers we watched a couple of shows ago, maybe like a month or two ago. Yeah, it was
Whoops.
good. No, it's okay.
Um,
You don't need to know the encyclopedia ins and outs of the Blackout and Shout episodes to be a host.
no, but I should. If I was on the episode where we watched the trailer, I should at least remember that. But
I don't think you were on that episode.
Oh, okay.
So, Nate,
Yeah, because I was just on a few weeks ago.
Because we were trying to list out all the cowboy horror movies that we could think of.
There should be more. I mean, let's be honest. Cowboy, shit. I wrote a ghost story once that was based on a caveman ghost. You know, I like, you know, enough of this 20th century shit. I get to see this every day. Period pieces are fun, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
So, toy news? Is that where we're at?
No.
No?
Not even close.
What do we do next?
Mike, did you watch anything cool? Cool anime?
I didn't watch any I'm trying to think, did I watch any animes? No, I didn't, but the only thing I watched in the last week other than the regular bullshit, you know, Phillies games and whatnot was I finally, and I know this movie's been out for a while, but Don't Breathe 2.
I didn't see either.
You didn't see either? I'll tell you this, man. It's a cool premise for a movie because it's set up like a horror movie, but the monster, and I put the monster in quotes, is who you end up rooting for. Because the monster is this old Marine and he's blind. But by effect of him being blind, he has like ninja-like other senses.
He's Daredevil.
Yeah. But he's just such a fucking badass.
I lie. I did see the first movie.
Yeah.
I did see that one.
The second one, I mean, I won't give a whole lot away if anybody is planning on watching it or whatever, but like it's fucking awesome, man. He's got this little girl now, and she picked up a couple of his tricks and shit because she's a crafty little fuck. And it's not like the unbelievable, you know, little girl doing all this crazy shit like that stupid ass Gabby in Attack on Titan, but it's like a believable, like crafty, you know, like clever girl type stuff. Like she was a cool little fuck, man. But yeah, that was a really good movie. And it was like, and it has like a couple of bad guys, and the one has like a real hate to face, you know, like when you like almost like you'd see the actor in real life and still hate him, even though, you know, he was just playing a role. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was a really good movie. I'll tell you another movie that the guy that played the Marine, I don't even know what his name is in the movie, but he was in this other like horror-ish movie years ago called Monkey Paw. You ever seen Monkey Paw?
I feel like I did.
Monkey Paw is highly recommended from this kid.
Is it Korean?
Is he Korean?
No. It was Monkey Paw. No.
The movie, like a Korean movie? Nah, it's
okay.
Nope. Let me look up the dude.
What's his name from Avatar, and I think not Untouchable.
Oh, is that the same guy? Yeah. Now that you say it, but yeah, Avatar was so many years ago, and he was younger. But now that you're saying it, it's like, yeah, that dude. He's a good actor, man. He played like he played a good blind guy. Like he was a believable blind guy.
He was in Tombstone. Remember him in Tombstone? He was the asshole.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Oh, he's in Into the Badlands. Yeah. No, he was in a bunch of shit. There was some mobster movie. I can't remember what it was. It was not The Untouchables, but it was something like that. He was really good in too.
I won't give too much away at Monkey Paw, but there's a really good scene where this dude at work is pissing him off and he fucking crushes his head in like this machine, like this vice grip. This vice squishes his head, and it's fucking great, man, because the dude's such a fucking asshole. It's like the type of shit that you dream about doing at your real job, but you can't, you know, because you're not in a movie, but this guy's in a movie, so it's like, yeah, that was awesome. But outside of that, I did not get to watch a whole lot. Gigs coming up with Social Call and Angel Down, and we're in the middle of softball season, so there was a few weeks in a row where we played 2 games in the week. So my leisure time has been cut down a little bit.
Did you do Stranger Things?
Not yet. No. Honestly, Stranger Things, I got to go back and watch season 3 before I can watch season 4.
I would just do the YouTube
I thought
recap.
that, but yeah, no, there's a really good recap at the beginning of the show, to be honest. That really covers you, and you can just jump right in.
Yeah, the thing is with Stranger Things is right up my fucking alley. It didn't fall off because I didn't like it or didn't want to watch it. It just kind of, you know how when you sit on something for long enough, you end up never watching it. It became one of those things. Like, not because I didn't want to. Like, man, Stranger Things was just right up my fucking alley, man. You know.
Yep.
I associated with those kids, like, you know, at like when I think about myself as a kid, you know, and it's just like, and it was the time period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just everything about it, man, was just so cool. But I fell off. I gotta, you know, I will eventually watch that one for sure. That I can get.
Did you watch it, Jed?
Oh yeah. It was really good. It was gonna be dog shit, but it's actually probably one of the best. Well, compared to the first, probably the next. Keeps you wanting more, and it's really well done.
Exactly. And from a Dungeons and Dragons perspective, every scene is an encounter. You know, it's
right.
The kids need to meet up with this person who has these paladin prejudices to, you know, to get a task done, and so they need to deceive her. So there's like persuasion rolls being rolled. Like, these things are happening in scene, and you can see it happening if you play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Sorry, I was just looking up that movie. I was thinking of Stephen Lang was in that movie called Public Enemies. Do you remember that movie?
Not by title. I remember
that was
the only public enemy I remember was Fear of a Black Planet, son.
This was Christian Bale and Johnny Depp were in it. It was about how they were taking down John Dillinger.
Yeah. Okay. No, I do not remember that.
No, don't remember that. That was about 13 years ago.
That Public Enemy record was a pretty good one, though. I'll tell you that much.
I watched The Unbelievable Weight of Massive Talent with Nick Cage.
Oh, how was that? Was that good?
It was good. Yeah, it was good.
Worth
watching. It was funny. Yeah, it's worth watching. I'm like, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really good, and there's a lot of funny parts in it.
Nice.
And I don't like I said, I don't want to, but they make a physical representation of Nicolas Cage's insanity.
Right.
And it's really fucking funny. So you should watch it.
It's been a long time coming, I think.
Yeah. It's really good.
I mean, don't they just have to make one of those when you drive by one of those like car washes and they've got the airman flitting or used cars?
What?
You know,
you mean the
guy that like the guy that just like flits back and forth.
It's
in crazy maneuvers.
I was just gonna tell you, it's him, it's himself, but it's like him when he's like really young. Mm-hmm. And he calls him Nicky. It's like, hey Nicky. It just out of nowhere he starts talking to like a younger version of himself. It's just fucking, and it's really cool because they de-aged him and he plays, you know, himself. It's fucking hilarious. It's a really good movie.
Okay.
And it gets kind of meta at one point because they start talking about making a movie about this movie and him being the actor in it. And Pedro Pascal is the guy who writes the movie, and they work on writing this movie. And it's really weird because they're like writing the movie as the thing's happening, and they're like, we should write a movie about this. What's happening now? And it gets like this whole weird meta type of thing, like a Inception type of thing. Yep. Dream within a dream. But like I said, I don't want to spoil anything. There's a whole bunch of shit that I fucking laughed my ass off. So it's definitely worth watching.
Nice.
You guys all caught up on Obi-Wan? Do you start watching that yet, Mike?
I haven't even started yet. Now Obi-Wan will be something that'll pass me by, and then I'll just watch the whole fucking thing one day. While just chilling.
One more episode, and that's next week, I think. And you could probably do it.
6 episodes total or 8?
Mm-hmm. 6.
So I haven't seen 5, and obviously I haven't seen 6. But
this last one, Nate, 5 was actually pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
There's a couple of like, oh shit, scenes you're like type of thing. So it's pretty cool. And I started watching the 3rd season For All Mankind. I love that show. It's so good. I know you guys probably haven't watched it. I
didn't know there was a first season.
Yeah, we talked about it like a couple of years ago. It was one of the trailers that I did to share with everybody. but it was like an alternate history where the Russians get to the moon first in a space race.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it on the show.
Yeah, it's good.
You actually watched it.
Yeah, it's like I said, the third season is starting. Now they're actually at the point where they're going to Mars. Gary Hart was president. Stuff like that. Kind of cool stuff like, but yeah. But I got like a ton of shit like anime to watch, and I haven't gotten back to it yet. I did squeeze in a couple of Hellsing episodes. I think I'm like on episode 5 so far.
The Ultimate?
Yeah, the Ultimate Hellsing.
Yeah.
It's one where they went to some other country, and the SWAT team came after him, and he just like let loose and started murdering everyone in the building. No.
No, I remember.
Do you remember that? Yeah. It's good stuff. But yeah. So there's no weird news because Levy's not here.
He is.
Well, that's good. That shortcuts some things.
Yeah,
I had one the other week, but I can't remember what it is. So,
you know what? The wife sent me one. Hold on, the wife sent me one, so I better mention it. Let me see.
She's gonna listen to this fucking train wreck.
Right. Did you say it about it? Did you talk about it? Yeah. No, I did. Yeah.
You know what's funny about the Metroplex story with your wife? You told her that it was $1,000, and she's probably thinking like, well, man, inflation is really hitting the Transformer world because you ain't getting that. That's a big robot, but it's $1,000, and you got all 5 of these other robots for $20 each, and it's just really, it's amazing how the prices just went crazy from a few years ago.
It is amazing, isn't it?
It is totally. Yes.
Those new.
Do you think she knows? And she just. You don't think she's taken the time to just be like, all right, I see the boxes. They say BBTS. Let me go to bbts.com. Okay. All right. This is something that I know is in his collection. I've seen it. Huh. That's not $20.
I don't see it happening like that. Like she'd be checking up on him. I see it more happening the way it would have happened if I would have lied about the prices to, say, Vanessa. At some point, she would have hit Jed or you or Levy or somebody up, like when my birthday rolled around, and was like, hey, what's something that, maybe he doesn't have it in his collection that I could get him, and you guys name X, Y, and Z, and then she goes to buy the fucking thing and is like, whoa, I like him, but I don't like him that much.
Yeah.
I tell her I don't want anything. Like, I don't want presents. I get my own presents. I do. And I do, because I know if she tries to do something, then it wouldn't work out well.
Yeah.
I got you this Transformer.
Ness is fairly creative, but we've only been together for 5.5 years. You and your old lady been together for what? For how long? 20?
Don't remind
15,
me.
20? I'm not trying to remind you of your jail sentence. I'm just saying, like, when, like you've been together for 15 years or 20 years or whatever, it got to get tough.
17.
Like, 17. Wow. Look at you. Yeah. 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some comedian did a bit like where, where it's like when you like the first couple of years, it's all like when you say how long it's been, it's like, you say it with happiness in your voice, and then when you get to a certain point, you say it more like a jail sentence. How long you been together? 8 to 10.
Yeah. All I know is that the only commitment I've had that's lasted 17 years has been to cannabis.
Is that true? Because I've had a relationship with these robots for 38 years now.
Oh,
I can't find the article, but I'll share this moment of text messaging with you, with my wife. Ready?
Yeah.
So she goes, I love you only forever. Life said I, and then she goes,
hey, you broke up for all of that.
You broke up for all that.
Let me try it again. She said, I love you only forever. I want everything in life with you. And I said, I love you too. And then she said, I want us to grow old together. Heart emoji. And I wrote, ugh.
Yeah. See, it's like the she sees it more in the movie, like a movie, you know, like the mushy, you know, two old people, or like that commercial where that old couple was like dancing to some song that was popular when they were in their fucking 20. You know, you see two old people, you know, shitting their fucking pants, and you know everything's going wrong health wise and all. Like you're too much of a realist, you know. The woman is a dreamer, and you're too much of a realist.
So I think I've asked this question before in some context, but I'll ask it again now because everybody's situations have changed.
Yeah, I just put the screenshot in the
yeah, I see that.
That's for
you. So you're walking through the woods. Your significant other is not with you. You see a portal into another dimension, and it looks pretty fucking cool on the other side. Do you go through it, not knowing if you can come back?
No, not in a second. Nope, not for a second. Not now. Not now. 5 years ago, probably. 4 years ago, probably.
Wait, what's in the portal?
Yeah. Define cool, Nate. Like, what are we talking?
All right. So for me, I walk up, I see a tear in reality, and on the other side, there is a fucking rainbow Pegasus fucking scampering about and like brewing at me like, come on over, man, and you can ride on me. And guess what? There's some orcs that I need you to fucking kill now with the laser beams that you can shoot out of your eyeballs. And I'm going through that portal.
Are you really? Right now you're going through that portal? Yeah.
Right
do
now.
I have, let me ask, do I have access to a cell phone? Like, do I have cell phone service where I'm at?
I'm gonna say that the energy flux from this tear in reality has fritzed your phone.
Really? See, because it's like, I don't want to sound like too much of a mushball, but
you can write a message on it and throw your phone down on the ground, and then go through the tear.
And then go through the but I mean, if the cell phone has,
you could take a fucking picture and then drop it and hope somebody knows your fucking password who picks it up. I don't know. Disable your password.
If I could take her with me through it, because she would probably want to go through it. I don't think I want to go through by myself. This is too much. There was too much uncertainty for the first 40 years of life. You know what I mean? So then you hit I hit this stage of like, you know, smooth sailing and everything's good, you know, and it's like, wow, I haven't ever had that ever. Can I be too much of a risk?
Can I throw my wife through the portal and stay here?
But you want to, but what if it's really good fucking times over there, man? Then you just stayed here and now you're dragging your ass through, to fucking work and the same horse shit you're doing every other day.
I'll be super happy.
She's riding a fucking Pegasus.
Hey, we're both happy. Isn't that great? Is there modern medicine on the other side, or am I going to get scurvy?
No, it's the unknown, right? Like you don't know. You don't know.
There's medicine, Jed. You go into a cave and you pay with rubles, and you get potion jars and shit.
It's not safe to go alone. Here, take this.
Yeah, take this.
I don't know. I just think that humanity is funny. Like we do these like sometimes mundane, boring jobs, and just do the same stuff over and over again. And I think if I was presented with a tear in reality with something on the other side that looked remotely interesting, I think I'd want to walk through. Now, you bring up a good point. Would I run back to my family and be like, you got to come see this? If I thought I had time, absolutely. But if it looked like it was wavering at all, I'll leave a note.
I'll leave a note.
I'd be like, Lori, check this out. Look how awesome that looks. And then I kick her in the ass and right through. And I'd be like, yay.
It'd be funny if there was like the land inside the tear in time and space would be a place where you could actually buy Fans Toys Dinobots for
$20. Like, son of a bitch.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound like there's any, convenient luxuries of, like any type of anemones on that side of the portal. Like I'll have to actually hunt my food, skin it.
I mean, I'm asking you to use your imagination. You know, you basically.
I am my imagination. I am.
You look on the other side, and I don't fucking know. No, you know what? Even if it was slightly creepy, I think I'd go through it. I
gotta murder some people or some orcs or whatever, and probably have to give a unicorn a hand job or something. I don't know.
With help.
Yeah.
With help.
Yeah. Right.
You have a team. The unicorn hand job is more than a one-man team. It's like actual, like, it's a team. That'd be my luck. It's like, all right, on this side of the tear, I'm in a band. On that side of the tear, I'm one of 4 dudes that helps jerk off an imaginary fucking horse.
I'm a unicorn.
No. The unicorn looks at you and goes, "Hey, wasn't this something they did in the 80s?"
Probably.
You would be the unicorn fluffer.
The unicorn fluffer. And there you have it, folks. This week's title.
Unicorn fluffer.
I tried so hard to rein it in and make sure that we had a timely exit, but we just...
No, we're doing fine. We're honestly fine because if we're going into toy news right now, we're doing fine.
Okay. All right, great.
This is... Okay. I would consider this weird news.
Jed, you're completely missing.
Am I missing?
Oh, hello? There you are. Yeah, okay. If you were talking there, I didn't even hear a single word of it.
Oh. I said I would consider this news.
Oh, okay.
Which was
toy news. Did you ever read the weird news that your old lady sent you, or did we just completely sidetrack that? And
I couldn't find it.
Okay,
so I just sent you the clip of the conversation. News. Yeah, so I just used the conversation clip.
Let me once again say how nice it is to have somebody that's actually into Transformers on the show for toy news.
I quit.
So the first picture I'm putting in there, we already saw Dreadwind, but Fans Hobby put out this little mechanical style drawing of the Dreadwing, which is Dreadwind and Darkwing in combined mode, which is fucking exciting. I'm psyched that Fans Hobby keeps... Oh, also, Fans Hobby sent me a replacement hand. Actually, my Repugnus... I'm on sidetrack for 2. This will take 10 seconds, but my Repugnus, I bought him like 3 or 4 years ago, whenever that was, when it first came out from Chosen Prime, and I was messing around with it, and I realized that the hand was messed up, the pin was messed up, and there was no pin in the one finger, and the whole hand was like kind of goofy, and I never realized it until maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and I hit up Fans Hobby, and they sent me a whole replacement arm. And it took forever to get here, but it was but it got here. So, and they did not ask for shipping. They actually just sent me the part. But anyway, yeah, so they're doing this Dreadwing, which I'm pretty psyched about, because I don't know, man, it's like I had a good attachment to the cartoon and the comics and shit, like with all those, season 1, 2, and season 3 or whatever, but like when season, I guess, 4 and 5 and like some of those later, like the Power Masters and shit, man, that was when I got a little bit older and I had a little bit of my own money, and I was able to actually like buy some of this shit. And like I remember the Power Masters, man, and I always thought they were like really cool, and I'm glad that we're finally getting some masterpiece representations of that era.
Mm-hmm. I only had Power Master Prime ever.
Yeah.
But I had friends who had some of the other Power Masters.
The jets or the cars?
The cars.
So
I never... Yeah.
Slapdash Getaway, Getaway, and Joyride.
Joyride was the one I know for sure. And Getaway, I think he also had. But I dug it. I can't believe my child is... What? Why is my kid still awake? Sorry. She's screaming, and it is 10:50. Anyway, this is very exciting. Sorry.
Are you
right?
In on any of this shit?
No, I'm not.
No.
I drew a line.
But you'll see it when you come here. So.
Yeah, and I'll make sure to bring an admission ticket. It's just I had to draw a line. So I didn't even get any of the Power Master Primes that have come out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it didn't. Is it? So it's funny you say that. Is it make it easier to draw a said line knowing that you live in some sort of proximity to me and Levy and like we're like other collections where you know people are getting this stuff, so you can still see it in person and handle it if you want to?
Yes. So there are two things that I can respond to on that. And the first is, yes, you're right. Having all of you within 2.5 hours does mean I'm going to have a chance to see this stuff. I've seen it at conventions. So there's that. But also when I first started collecting, especially in the very early days, like the internet and the internet community was not what it is today. And I really thought I was alone, and I was building something that was special that, no one else cared about, because there was no one who I knew that actually cared about it. And the only way that I met people was from buying stuff on eBay. And now I'm like, I don't have to do this. Other people are doing it from the historian point of view, like collecting this stuff and amassing it just to be a museum of what has been. It's not my job. Someone else is doing it. Everybody else is doing it. I don't have to spend my money making this happen because it's going to be preserved. Yeah. So my job's so I'm trying to remember that, but I keep buying goddamn toys, Mike.
Yeah, but you double fucked yourself, because then you started getting into the Lego game, and then that's a whole other.
That and the Mythic Legions. God,
yeah.
Damn, there is I'm so deep on pre-orders on things that I don't even have in hand yet, and you're always like a year deep on these things, and it's it is costly. So now I'm like, all right, I should probably take a pause on all of that and focus on adulting for a minute, just for a minute. Take a pause, not a full break, a little pause-a-roo.
But is it because of the financial end of it, or like you think the money should be better spent elsewhere, or is it just
better spent elsewhere? Like I want a bigger house, and that doesn't fall out of the trees. So and so I'd rather save the money than buy things with the with just kidding myself that I'm going to sell them at a profit, because we all know I don't sell anything.
Yeah.
So I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, I'll sell it. I'll sell it for twice the price. Mm-hmm. That's what people do. And then I get it. I'm like, no, that's what assholes do. I'm not doing that.
You call me an asshole? I've been attacked personally. This feels personal.
Sorry, my man. Not your practice, so it's not. It's not.
It's not like I'm going out and scalping pops. I'm just like, I see something and I'm like, I'm awake at 4:00 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And in Japan, it's like 5 PM. They're just releasing, something that's, it's a time sensitive situation. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, well, I'll get 3, since that's the max, instead of just 1 for myself. And then I'll just turn around and flip it as soon as I get it. And
but your plan is to keep 1,
Sometimes, hey, it pays for other stuff. So it's not like, and I'm just selling it at whatever the market's going for on eBay.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know.
And people buy it. So, hey, if I'm going to hell because of that, then whatever.
No, you're not. You're not. It's just something that I haven't. I guess I'm more of a hoarder than I want to admit. And I just like the possession of things. And I don't know what psychological damage I had some point.
I saw somebody posting those Templar Knights from Mythic Legions. They were $25, $30 or something.
$27.
Yep. $27. They're asking $110.
Yep. And getting it.
Yeah. And getting it.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yo, Nate gave me that Pixis, how many years ago, Nate? 2 years ago, maybe?
Probably 3 years ago, because that was back in the out in public times.
Yeah. That's right. When Toycon NJ was still going, I think that's where we got it when you came to Toycon NJ. Anyway, long story short, Nate gave me this Pixis, and it cost you what, $30 or $35 maybe, Nate?
$35. Yep.
$35, and I just sold that shit on eBay for $225 with Nate's blessing. By the way, I didn't sell it. I just said, hey, I need your blessing to sell this thing, and I'm gonna buy another figure. So just consider that you get me the other figure.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be surprised when we're at a show. I'm gonna buy you I know you say you don't want me to, but I'll get you a new Mythic Legion when we're at a show sometime or whatever to get you back for that. But yeah, it's crazy. But I'll tell you this, and I know my room people will laugh when they hear this because they see my collection or whatever, and they think, yeah, whatever. But like I've been pretty not amazed by my ability to just not have a double, but like the second that X Transbots Virtus came in, and I'm compared the two of them, and I took comparison pictures, and I did whatever I had to do with the Apache, and then the second that was over, dude, he was instructions out of the box and parts out of the box and everything taken pictures of and put right the fuck up on eBay like within a day.
Cool.
I
was just since I've been cleaning out my parents' house, I just brought home a bunch of stuff that was like mine that I found in the attic from like, way back when, that I was just gonna like, donate or give away, and I found out it's worth money. Like all the old Atari games, 2600 cartridges, and Commodore 64 discs, and like the systems themselves, all that stuff. Like I have a VIC-20 game that's from Sierra, I think it is, that's like worth $100, and I'm just like, how? Okay, I'm like, all right, I'll sell that then.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
some old rusted Tonka truck from the 70s that's going for like 20, 30, 40, $50, depending on what it is. I was just surprised about like some of the stuff that people are collecting and buying that I would have assumed just, trash because there was so much of it. But yeah, right. like Commodore systems, like, the whole thing is they're going for like $100 or whatever. It's like kind of what you paid for back in the 80s for it.
Yeah.
I would have been like 20 or
yard sale. Imagine that like it's the same thing with G1 Transformers. Like in the beginning, there was a a mountain peak arc on a graph of rush towards buying online and meeting people and buying up. Everybody who wanted to sell something was able to sell it, and everybody who wanted to buy something was able to buy it. And that like market lasted from like 2008 until 2016, and then things started getting weird. But
how do you mean things started getting weird? What do you mean?
Well, the market changed with third party, and like.
And when you say G1, are you talking about vintage G1 stuff?
Yeah, I'm talking about vintage G1 stuff, and like vintage Beast Wars, and like those two things were easy to come by for a while, and you could get them for reasonable prices. And then there was a swell, and now most of the people who have one want to hold on to it, and then there's only a few people.
I was like market value. I was like Mike's story because he got in like before the first Bayverse movie came out, and you got all that stuff on eBay with like real like good prices and stuff.
Yep.
And then after that movie came out, everything went whoosh,
crazy.
And so did the third party, started up and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's a parallel arc with eBay. Like people's use of it, they both happened at the same time.
Yeah, because in the beginning, I was getting a lot of that shit at conventions and stuff. But then once eBay kind of took over, that made it a little bit easier. But you know what? I'll tell you now, man. Like these last pieces I'm trying to find, and by last I mean like 17 more, like Micromasters and Action Masters. They're not showing up as readily as you think they might. Like
I love it when your list was down to 5, but then you added the Micromasters.
Well, this all goes back to the fucking Jay Bren being a terrible friend to have thing, but. But they're not as easy to come by as they used to be, and it's not even like I would consider these rare pieces. But I think that it was one of those things like where people started collecting them, and now the people that wanted them got them, and all the ones that were out on the market are kind of not on the market anymore. So it's like even when they pop up, it's not like they go for ridiculous prices, but they just don't pop up a whole lot like they used to.
Yep.
I was really surprised at some of the prices of those Nintendo cartridges that are going for thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Like it's like
Really?
thousands and thousands. Yeah,
it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Some of the shit from our childhood, like that we had, like who the fuck didn't have Punch Out? Everybody had fucking Punch Out, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but who wants to pay that much for that when you could just get an emulator and pay 10 cents to play Punch Out?
It's the collector. It's absolutely the collector because like I you know, you can get comic books, all of them comic books, and any comic book that you want in CBR format is a CBR format
CBR,
or whatever. And yeah, CBZ, that's right. And you know, but you know, some people just want that book, man. You know, Jed will tell you, or you will tell you, you know, some people just want that physical thing in their hands. You know, it's like or like a music collector, you know, some people just want them vinyls. Like, what the fuck do you want a vinyl for? I go download every fucking MP3 from that album in the next 10 minutes if I want to, but some people just want that. They want the artwork, you know, on the cover and the lyrics on the inside sheet and the, you know, just they have it. It's physical.
Part collecting, part nostalgia. Yep. And like when it comes to games, it's like, you know, things that are unique. Like they changed Mike Tyson's Punch Out to just Punch Out at one point. Yeah. And there's like different cartridges have different amount of screws in the back holding it together.
It was the 5-screw one, right? The 5-screw one was a crazy expensive one. I saw that. Did you send that list?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Or like some of those Commodore games, they're actually like some people who collect those things, I guess, are looking for specific developers or different companies that worked on it. And it's really, really odd. Or like things that haven't been around, like they can't find them, so they're more unique, you know?
Right.
And they turn over quick.
Not Duck Hunt.
Right, not Duck Hunt.
All right, well, let's move on to the next piece.
Yeah, look at them legs.
Yeah, look at them legs, man. I'll tell you what, man. I'm fucking excited. I'll tell you, well, I'm excited, but I'm also, I got a small level of anxiety. And the only reason I have a level of anxiety is because this is like, you know, who the hell jumps into the game with a city bot? And by the way, we're looking at a Like Toys Metroplex. Some dude released some new pictures of them from the waist down, and it's fucking insane to see Omega Supreme basically coming up to just barely above its knee. That's just outrageous, man. So big, and he's got all the LED lights and shit. He got this thing's gonna have LED lights in the knees, the shoulders, the eyes, and probably a couple other places or whatever. But the only thing that it's like, man, somebody new jumping into the game with a figure of this magnitude is a little scary. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at these pictures and it's like it looks really freaking good, man, so far.
Yeah, and if it just stands there in a perfectly balanced stance most of the time, I think it's going to do the job. And honestly, I'd want it in city mode. You know me.
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah, of course you would.
No, but I'd want it in city mode with a bunch of like legends, you know, an action scene.
All right, yeah. Well, here's the thing. They showed off pictures of this, and it was renders, but they showed him in some pretty dynamic poses in the renders. So if you're going to show that off in renders, you better hope that it can physically actually do the shit that you're showing it doing.
I bet it can do amazing poses for a short term.
Yeah.
But you can't store something like this.
No. This motherfucker be in an A stance when it's resting. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yep. I'm pretty psyched, man, because I know
I'm glad. Again, this is one of those things. I'm glad you're in on it because eventually I will be able to drive over and take a peek.
Yeah.
But I am in on that Fans Toys Fort Max, so it's essentially the same scale,
right?
If I'm not mistaken.
And you're picking Fort Max over Metroplex, or is it just because Fort Max is coming from a proven company?
It's coming from a proven company, right. and because I was assuming it was going to come in multiple limbs at different times.
And you're going to be able to sneak it into a house a piece at a time, right?
Yeah, sneak it in a piece at a time.
Your story about putting the shit outside the fucking basement window is one of my favorite, like, still one of my favorite let's hide this from the spouse stories ever. That and having Omega Supreme in two pieces.
It's so gross. It's so gross. Just, honesty is key, folks. This deception is just, it's gonna catch up with all of us.
Nate, the problem with you, like, what happened with your relationship, and correct me if I'm wrong, but your lady came along before third party. Is that correct?
No, in fact, there was a moment where I got the fans project sludge.
Yeah,
and she was over, and we were dating, and I was like, yeah, isn't this cool? And she was like, yeah, it's cool. And I was like, no, trust me, this is probably the last sludge I'll ever buy. Because I thought that was the end all be all at the time. And then, fans toys.
The reason I was asking that was just because, like, it
was early. It was very early.
Early. So it's still, it's like, it would have been different if it was a couple of years in. Like, for me, it was already a bunch of years in by the time I met Ness. So, anybody that I dated after I got divorced or whatever, one of the first fucking things I did was like, hey, come check this out. And I'd show them the room. And you can't go into the room thinking, oh, well, it's just this little hobby. You go into the room and know the first time you look at it, like, this has been a lifelong thing or whatever. And it's been there long before I got there, and is going to be there long after I'm gone. Right. So I'm not going to try to change it. But with you, it was in the early going. So I could see where, it would get a little tricky.
Yeah, but I still had a pretty sizable collection on display. Yeah. But it was all like that would have been Transformers Prime era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have had a Hegemon at that point, I think, probably. And that kind of stuff. The Ironhide from iGear.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
It would have been that era. But yeah, I know it was all over the place. But most of it was on this top shelf that I had installed on the wall. And you were in that apartment, I think.
Yeah.
At some point.
We were there.
Oh, no, you never were. Nope. You never were in this apartment that I'm describing.
Okay.
So this original apartment, when I first started dating Rebecca, I lived in this tiny, tiny room. So small that I put, and I had to do editing work out of this as well. So I built an IKEA loft. So I was sleeping in a loft bed, and I had my desk underneath that with my Final Cut all set up, and then Adobe Premiere. And then, but up on this shelf on the wall, it was up high enough that you really only got a really good look at it if you were up in the loft. And so if I brought a girl home and we made it up to the loft, it was kind of like, so there it is. That's all of it.
So that wasn't the place where we partied with you the one time, like Tyrone was there, and who was the girl?
No, that was in Forest Hills.
Okay.
Sarah Schrift.
Yes. Yeah, that's
that was in Forest Hills. The place I'm describing was in Astoria.
Gotcha.
Also in Queens, but a different part. Yeah. Fucking yes, it does matter. But I had a lot on display. And it was obvious that it was like, this is an important thing to me. And I think I even had a few Detolfs at the time. So we're in early Detolf territory.
Yeah.
Time. Anyways.
Let's move on to this one last, and we actually, this came out in time for us to cover it last time. I slept on it. I don't know why the hell I didn't have it in the toy news, but this next one and my final piece of toy news for this episode is MP Skyfire. And I will tell you that there's things I do like about it, but there's some things that I don't like about it, and it's all the typical shit that I usually don't like about the latest masterpiece Transformers is that he just he looks like he could be awesome, but he's just like, I can't get past this whole dad bod thing that they're giving everybody. Yeah, the Seekers. And like he's in Jet or Skyfire, like and the bummer is that he looks like really posable. It looks like he's going to be way more posable than better articulation than the Phoenix than the Fans Toys Phoenix. But like I don't know, man. Like, and I know I just made that fucking video making fun of all the Fans Toys fanboys or whatever. But like Phoenix to me just has like all those heroic proportions nailed down. You know, like he looks like a superhero. You know, like. Mm-hmm. And this Jetfire just doesn't to me, man. He just looks like it looks, again, I say it all the time. It looks like cartoon accuracy gone horribly wrong to me. Did you see the video? I did. There's plenty I like about it. I love the alt mode. I think the alt mode looks great, you know, and I like that it has a Gerwalk mode, and it's got like that mode where he can kind of hang his arms out where he was carrying his shit in the one episode. And I think the scale looks good. And like I think there's a lot to like about it. I love that they give you the Robotech face, which is awesome. Like there's definitely things I like about it, but I just can't get by the way
the rest of the faces are derpy.
The faces are terrible. And that's another place where I think like Fans Toys was just kind of hitting their stride at that point where they were, remember they used to do really terrible faces too, but like they got into, I can't remember where exactly it happened, but somewhere along the lines they figured out face sculpts, and like you know how good Fans Toys Phoenix has such a good face on it that you could put it in the face app and you could put like mustaches and like make them smile and like do all the weird, like that's how you know a good face, you know, a good face sculpt, because you can stick it through the face app and it'll do all that shit. These faces are terrible, man. I thought it was a joke when I saw a couple of them. I thought somebody doctored them, but apparently that's how they look.
They're really bad. I agree. But I certainly am keeping my pre-order.
Yeah.
Jed.
He wants that alt mode. He wants that Jed mode.
Right. He wants the Gerwalk mode.
You know, Gerwalk.
No, I think I'm gonna slap a con symbol on this one and let him be on the Decepticons. Show.
Oh man, I wish you wouldn't have said that, man.
I was telling Nate earlier that after I saw the video, I canceled my pre-order.
Yeah, and what didn't you like about it?
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Faces. Yep. For some reason, it looked cheap to me. Like it gave me the vibe that it was a upscaled, like, you know, mainline figure instead of a masterpiece. Do
you think that's maybe some of the simplicity of the transformation that they showed in the video?
Could be. I was trying to kind of figure it out in my brain if that's what I was thinking about, or if it was because of the size of him. And I was getting that, you know, kind of idea from him because he's a bigger character, or because it was more cartoon accurate. But it was just, it felt more plastic than it did metal, you know, like any type of metal.
A lot of weight. It's a lot of white plastic to look at too.
It's a lot of white.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember him being a lot cheaper, you know, and I thought, maybe the reason why he's cheaper is because he is kind of a cheaply made. So I canceled my pre-order. I'll wait for all the reviews to come out and see what people say about it. And then I'll kind of see if I'll pick one up or not.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't like the way it looked at all.
I'd say you could come see mine, but you also disclosed you don't want to go anywhere ever.
Yeah. I'm an introvert now. I go through VR.
Yikes.
But no, I was like, the pictures were like, oh, okay, cool. But then I saw the faces and the way it looked, and I was just like in the video, and I'm like, ugh, nah, I think I'll cancel this and come back to it a later time. It doesn't help either that I can't remember if it was Bandai or who the company is, but they just came out with it's not the same scale, but they just came out with an actual Robotech jet.
I saw that. It's a little guy. It's actually a little guy. It's only like 6 or 7 inches tall.
Is it 6 inches? I thought it was 12 or 10 or something like that.
If it's the one that Chosen Prime put up for pre-order a couple of days ago, that's a little guy.
Is it smaller?
It looks amazing though. You're talking about the Valkyrie, right? Skull Squadron, the yellow and black and white. Yeah, it looked really good, man.
It looks right on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fokker's jet on the chest.
Yep. If they would do, if somebody would do a MP version of one of the Skull Squadron and one of the Valkyries, I would get one of those for sure, man.
They do.
It wouldn't even have to be like not Jetfire size, but like even like just MP10. You know, the regular like leader class.
There's a bigger one. It has them because I tried to get them. It was like one of those things. You try to, as soon as they put it up, it's gone. You know, like it's pre-orders. Yeah. It runs so fast. Like Macross is like so popular in Japan. It's just gone as soon as it's up. But yeah, they did a pretty big scale one. I was trying to get it, but it was like I'd probably say
Bandai did it. You said?
Don't quote me on that. I gotta look. Let me look it up real quick. I can't remember who it is that does it. No, it's a popular company. Let me pull it up real quick because they had the like I said, they had the bigger like MP scale size one too. It was probably like 200-300, I think at the time.
I'm looking at these photos. This thing looks so goddamn good, other than the face. And I think I'll get over the face, too. We'll see. Ooh, I didn't see this with it, like, repair bay down on the flight stand.
Yeah, and that's a good move because that's where Skyfire spent a lot of his time. Seriously. On his back. I mean, listen, they're shooting for cartoon accuracy. They nailed it. You know what I mean? He looks just like he did in the cartoon. But my big beef, and I don't know if I've ever worded it quite like this, but my big beef with cartoon accuracy being as cartoon accurate as it is now is that if I'm gonna spend, $250, $300 on some figure or whatever, like I don't want it to look exactly like I saw it as a 9-year-old. I wanted to look how I thought I saw it as a 9-year-old and how I thought Omega Supreme looked or Jetfire looked or Optimus Prime looked as a 9-year-old. Like it looked more like one of these updated versions, like Omega Supreme. I'm trying to think of what would be a good example. Like Shockwave, for instance. It didn't, the MP Shockwave looks exactly like it did in the cartoon, but that's not necessarily how I saw him. I saw him looking more like Quakewave. You know what I mean? Right. I want these bots to appeal more to my adult sensibilities than appeal to my 9-year-old sensibilities, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever.
It makes tons of sense. One of the things I loved about the early MPs was their strict adherence to real life vehicles.
Yeah, Like, I really do. I wish they would have stuck with that. I really do. After all this shit and after trading in one bot for another, because it was better. And a lot of times they are better, but they definitely slide more towards the cartoon thing. Like if I could snap my fingers and make that entire collection all real world like it was in the beginning, I probably would have been just as happy as I am with all this fucking cartoon looking shit.
Yep.
Or more happy, I should say, because it was fine.
XTB's Ultra Magnus that is coming out. They just put out the photos of the toy color.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I have no interest in that, but that looks amazing though. The toy in general looks amazing.
Yeah, so I took a second look at it, and because one of my friends said, it doesn't look that much better. And I went and looked at it, and I was like, actually, it really does. Just the way that the parts form around the back of the calves, it looks more organic.
It does. Yeah, it does.
It's very cool.
And it looks like he's going to be able to do a lot. Well, I mean, I can see right here in this picture I'm looking at now, he's got an ab crunch. And I think I saw a picture of him kneeling. And then there was another picture where I saw where he was doing like a split kick, like where he's kicking straight up in the air, but he had his other foot on the ground. Like, come on. Like, dude, the
crazy
MP,
balance. Yep.
The MP Magnus can't barely do anything, like, so.
But it's still a beautiful figure. I love that figure.
The MP Magnus. Yeah, it's nice looking. Like if they again, if they never came out with another one ever, I'd be all right with it. But man, this one looks good.
Yeah, I was right. It's Bandai, and you're right. It's like 5.5, 6 inches. Yep.
Yeah.
Which that fits in with the Soul of Chogokin scale.
You know what's kind of amazing about it, though, Jed, is that thing is so small. It's only like 5-6 inches. Remember a couple of weeks ago, me, you, and Levy were looking at the was it the Vectron Labs Constructicon, or was it the Scrapper? And Levy was, there was nothing in it to denote its to determine its size. And he said just by looking at the pictures alone, it looked like a legend because of the way it was photographed and the way it was put together and how it was made. When you look at the pictures of that Valkyrie, that motherfucker looks like it's 12 inches tall because it's so many fine details. And when I saw that it was only like 6 inches tall or whatever, I was like, holy shit, man. I can't believe that's how it looks at that size. It's crazy.
I'll have to find the other one that was really, I was so pissed off that I missed it.
Yeah, if you find that big one, at least let me know like what it is, because I would like to keep my eyes open, man. I would love a Skull Squadron.
So I think that brings us to the end of toy news.
Yeah, we can get into Q&A and then we can bounce out of here before midnight, as it should be. You want me to go read the questions, or Nate, or do you want to do it? It's up to you.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and read them, because I have no idea how to get in there and find them all.
Okay, I can only... Oh, shit. Hang on, let me switch over to my own profile, because Levy shared it a few places. I just want to make sure I can get into those places. All right, so let's start out with the first question here is from a longtime listener, Will Bell. He asked if we got the all striker Bumblebee question, which he actually sent to me personally. He was asking about if anybody had any interest or what was our opinions on the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover, the Bumblebee, the dune buggy looking Bumblebee. And I don't think any of us are getting that. I never had any interest in it, to be honest with you, but I do have an opinion on it. And it's like, and I know at the end of the day, money rules everything, and we got to do what's going to make us the most amount of money and all that shit. But when they put out that picture of the Baroness with the Megatron that turned into his tank, like if I was into buying that kind of stuff, I would have pre-ordered that shit in a second, because I thought that was a really cool idea. Like, I like the Baroness, I like Megatron. Megatron made sense as his tank, because in some parts of the lore, he's not a gun, he is a tank, so it at least made some kind of sense. And the color scheme worked. It was a black, red, and gray, color scheme or whatever, which kind of worked for him. This thing, I saw the picture of this thing, dude, and I honestly, truthfully couldn't hate it more. Because for one, the alt mode is like, what do you call it? The All Striker is like this dune buggy looking. Do you guys need pictures of it? Do you want me to pull pictures of it up, or have you?
No,
seen
I know exactly. That's all you had to say was the dune buggy. And
the reason I bring up the reason I bring up money ruining everything is, like, if you're gonna do a dune buggy, do Sandstorm. Do fucking Beachcomber, do somebody that makes sense as that vehicle, and not only do they cram Bumblebee down our fucking throats, which I'm completely and totally tired of already, but they put him in there as like the yellow, he's like this yellow robot wearing this green dune buggy shell, and I realized that Beachcomber is blue and Sandstorm is that orange and yellow or whatever color that he was, orange and black. So that really wouldn't have worked out all that well too. But like, there just had to be a better answer than shoehorn. It's a shoehorn. They shoehorned Bumblebee in because Bumblebee is one of the big, your Optimus Prime, your Starscream, Megatron, Soundwave, Bumblebee, like Jazz, you know what I mean? Like all the popular characters. So we need to put those characters, and it's like, it just doesn't make any. Not only does it not make sense, it just doesn't look good.
Yep.
And I'm a Transformer fan, and I'm a G.I. Joe fan.
To bring somebody else in and be like, all right, why don't we focus on your Beachcomber? Yeah. And make him a little green, fuck it, whatever.
Or
camo him up.
Beachcomber, Brawn, Hound, anybody.
Mm-hmm. Hound could have worked too, yeah. Yeah, anybody, but yeah, like I don't know, and I don't know what the marketing is, and I don't know why Bumblebee's as popular as he is, because like it seems like toys nowadays and shit. Like a lot of people buying them, it ain't even kids anymore. It's like a older collectors, and it's like if you're a G.I. Joe fan and a G1 Transformer fan, you're probably closer to our age than you are to a child's age. So it's like, why do you like Bumblebee that much anyways? Like Bumblebee was the character that was there so that you can associate with the cartoon, because he was easy to associate with because he was almost like a kid, kind of, you know. But like that's just not what I'm looking for anymore, you know. Like I don't know.
I tell you what, I would watch the shit out of a Brawn show with a surly character that just, you know, I would love a Brawn focus.
Well, he's a B-side character, you know, like it's like, and this all, I don't know, man, this is my opinion on a lot of things, because even with music, I'm the same way. Like, I don't want to hear, like, if it's a popular band that I'm listening to, like, dude, if I'm listening to Aerosmith, like, dude, I don't want to hear Walk This Way and Crazy, Amazing, Crying and all that horse shit. You know what I mean? Like, dude, give me, you know, Kings and Queens, and give me some of this old shit that you don't hear every fucking day. Like give me some B-sides on everything. Give me B-sides in music. Give me B-sides in action figures. Like, that's why I love Fans Hobby so much. They're doing some crazy characters that you didn't think you were going to see. Like, I don't know. I'm just tired.
I love that they're doing them, but do you feel that they're kind of MP-ish, or do you feel like they're overscaled chuggy?
They feel overscaled chuggy, but I think that's because we're being jaded by all the die cast and the weight of everything that X Transbots and Fans Toys has given us, you know. And
it doesn't necessarily mean it's better, but
right.
But the finish itself, and also just some of the geometry of them, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they're also cheaper too. I mean, I don't buy them because they're cheaper. I get them because they're characters that I want. But yeah, I you know, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out all about you know, what people are preferring, because like X Transbots is now kind of starting to step on them toes a little bit, because they, you know, they show
with the headmaster fucking
both of them, Nightbeat and Minerva.
Yep.
And they're doing a Minerva too, so we'll find out. And KFC had shown off a Darkwing and a Dreadwind, you know, a couple of years ago, that are still somewhere in the, you know, work in progress stages. So that's another one where they're going to, you know, go head to head with Fans Hobby. So we'll find out. We'll find out if are we buying Fans Hobby because we really love the figures? Or are we buying them because it's like, you know, like Jed said, check the box off and, you know.
Right.
So yeah, does anybody have anything else to add to the G.I. Joe Transformer?
So, I put the pictures in the chat, and that's the Valkyrie that Soul of Chogokin did.
Yeah,
maybe a year
that's
ago.
a fucking thing of beauty, man. Look at how nice that is.
That's 12 inches when
That's
it's in bottom.
Yeah. Oh man, I like that. That's nice.
It was going for I think it was going for like 130 when it came out, and now it's going for about 400.
I don't like it that much.
Right.
I'll wait for some sort of reissue, or I'll wait for somebody else, because I mean, dude, Robotech and Macross is so popular, like you said, somebody else will take a crack at it. But that is really nice looking.
Yeah, it's Soul of Chogokin.
Yep. Yeah, anything else to add into the G.I. Joe Bumblebee conversation, or can we move on?
We can move on. It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, but thank you for the question, Will, and for listening for years now. We appreciate the support. Next up, Josh Lawrence, our boy Josh Lawrence, writes, did Mike break Levy's record? I will tell you that I did not break the record. I did not come close to breaking the record, but as Andy Reid would say, I had to put myself in a better position to win, because it was logistics. I feel like I could house that record. To be totally honest with you, I feel like I could house that record. But there's only so many times I could say, hey, you gotta take a shit. like leave me in the house alone for one day, and I think I could do it. And I'm gonna revisit this. And I really do. And on the honor system, I won't lie about it either, but I definitely think I can do it. I just need to be put in a better position to win.
But speaking about the honor system, why don't you just say, hey, here you go, jerk off to win this bet?
Yeah, you know what is funny? That might actually go. Like, it might be fine, you know? It might be like my ex would have been completely and totally fucking disgusted by the entire thing, but I think Vanessa would be like, "Oh, I mean, you know, is this what you guys do?" Like, it wouldn't be
rules.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as much discussed as it would just be like, you know, she'd be perplexed. Like, this what you like? Is this what you guys do with your free time? Like, you know, make masturbation bets? But yeah, I got to like 5, maybe. Yeah, I got to like 5, but I just, you know, I definitely had more in me, so to speak. But there will be a next time. I promise. I shall return. And the last question.
Good question, Josh. Wholesome.
Yeah,
I'd like to welcome all of our 18 and under listeners.
Well, speaking of a wholesome question for all our 18 and under listeners, we got Chris Bishop next, which is the last question here.
Another one to talk about on summer vacation.
Yeah, but it's fine. like you know what I mean? Like, if you tune into this shit, who the hell? I shared a Blackout and Shout link on the Reflector Files one day, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but Sanjay, he's a dude from we met him at the last TFCon, and he's a Jersey dude, and he's a doctor. Anyways, he said, I mentioned the podcast, and he was asking me questions about it because he had not yet heard of us or whatever. So I explained it to him, and I said, but you know, I said just for the record, you know, we're not safe for work, not safe for church podcast. You know, there's a little bit of language and this and that, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody commented underneath it was like, yeah, I popped you guys on for the first time. I was listening with my 6-year-old daughter. She learned that day. So it's just one of the listen, if you're tuning in, you know,
there are times when I try and sneak in a few minutes while I'm driving my daughter to work. To nursery school. Sorry, not to work.
Not driving her to work. Jesus, how old is she? What sweatshop are you taking her to?
And I get a few minutes in, and I'm like, what am I subjecting her to? She obviously is hearing this and absorbing it. I've got to turn this off. What am I thinking?
Well, with that on that note, Chris Bishop with the question, nerd stuff is cool and all, but this is important. Which do you think women or whatever identifies as penis accepting these days would prefer? Coke can girth or normal 12 to 14 inches? How the fuck is 12 to 14 inches normal?
You must be by part of that survey.
Yeah, right. Yeah, imagine he's weighing it to the far side, like, so that like his 12 to 14 inches was bringing it up to 5.1 or whatever the fuck he said. So I mean, everybody else was rocking like, you know, 4 3/4.
I measure from the tailbone to the tip of my penis, and then all the way down the shaft. That amounts to the 14 inches.
The 14, yeah, right, yeah.
It's kind of a loop de loop.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna put myself on mute for no longer than 30 seconds. I'm gonna go ask Vanessa right now because she's in the next room, and we'll get a real answer out of a real female. Hang on for 1 second.
I asked my wife this question earlier while Mike's gone, and she told me that it doesn't matter about the size or the girth. It all depends on how you use it.
I've heard that before too. So that could mean one of a few things. It's possible that they're being honest, or it's possible that we're not good at either.
Speak for yourself. And I said that, you know, length is of course more important because even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, at least you're, you know, in there with an advantage, you know.
Vanessa just answered with absolutely no hesitation that she wants a wide one over a long one if she had to choose. But then she said, "Look, she don't have to get the chode." Yeah, this is where I do Willie Nelson on the chode again. Can't wait to get back on the chode again. Yeah. She says she would rather have the Coke can dick than a 12-inch skinny or dick. Yep. So there you have it from a real live female. Where's your old ladies? Why don't you go, Nate?
Oh, I was just saying before earlier when I asked her this question. She said it doesn't really matter either way. It's how you, because you could have something real small and be really, you have something really big and not know what to do with it at all.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I told her, I said, if you have something long and in there fumbling around, it's, you're likely to hit something.
You're bound to hit something. Yeah, right.
Right.
It's like a brachiosaurus or like a brontosaurus, like swinging his tail around and shit. Like at some point you're gonna whip a raptor. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but you have to be aware that you did that and be able to repeat it, but not so often that you become a one-trick pony. There's a lot of factors.
I don't think you ever have a fear of becoming a one-trick pony. If you, especially, this is gonna sound crazy, but like people get bored like when they're with the same person for long enough. But like, I don't know, man. I think like the longer you with somebody, you learn them better, and then you get this is what they like, this is what they don't like, and then you just keep on going down that trail.
Yeah, but what you start to lament is the exploration, right? It's the death of that. It's the
where you think you figured everything out that you could possibly figure out,
right? And you're like, okay, this is how we do it. This is how it happens, and that's not great. That exploration is the spark of life, man.
Man. It's a double-edged sword because there's something to be said for the comfort level, and not the comfort level like where you get jaded and complacent, where you just don't, you just do it in missionary and get it over with and all that shit. But on the other side, there's like, what if I stick my tongue in this girl's ass and she ends up not liking a tongue in the ass? Then what? Like it's just,
well, I mean, we're all adults here, so you should be able to. Like, you're down there, you should be able to pop up like a Jack in the Box right in her face, be like, "Hey, I want to put my tongue in your ass. How do you feel about that?"
You ask her. You're gonna ask her, man. The chivalry is not dead. Imagine somebody asked first.
you gotta pop up and get a verbal nowadays.
Can you sign this waiver?
I was just looking through some pictures, and I saw a picture of Jetfire. No, Jetfire frowning. And while I was listening to this conversation, Jetfire does not approve.
No, Jetfire does not approve.
He does not approve of this conversation.
The MP Jetfire looked like he got a chode. Like if a robots had dicks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was gonna mention this. I never realized this until just now. But like Roy Fokker's Valkyrie was called a Phoenix.
Oh,
and
no
that's
shit.
what fans always called the Jetfire.
Most likely, they probably did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some third-party names you see them, and they're like, well, this don't make any fucking sense whatsoever, But then you see other ones, and it's like, wow, that was really creative. Like that was a creative. Like, dude, I thought it was a joke, man. Lake Toys, I believe, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought I saw a couple of people say it. Lake Toys is going to name their Metroplex Davis. And I was like, and I thought that shit was made up. I'm like, I never knew that my man had a last name. Me and Kato were going back and forth on Sam Scott Roberts' post, like just making up last name, like Blaster Butts and shit. But here it turned out that Davis was the dude that did his voice. The guy's last name was Davis.
Ah, okay.
I mean, there's definitely like some creative things or whatever, but then sometimes you see him and it's like, what the fuck? What name is that? I don't know.
So, Mike, you see this picture of Skyfire and the con symbol?
Yes, I do. Yes.
He's egging you on.
Yeah, he's egging me on. He's a terrible friend, man. It's funny. I'm a good friend to everybody. I'm like, man, you don't need that, man.
Yeah, but you were wrong. I didn't need that.
As a matter of fact, I'm such a good friend that I used to try to talk Brother Kyle out of buying shit from me. Like Blitzwing, he bought that fucking KFC Blitzwing, and he bought what the fuck else did he buy off me? Oh, he bought the MP Rodimus off him and shit like that. And like, when he committed to buying them, I said, man, the Blitzwing, I showed him the ankles and I showed him what I had to do to make him stand. And then he said, yeah. And I'm like, all right, you still want to buy this? Because if I were you, I want to buy this. But if you want to buy it, I'll sell it to you. And he's like, yeah, I want it. And then the Rodimus, he had the money in his hand, and it was a mint box Rodimus. I didn't even open this thing yet because it was my double. And he handed me the money, and I looked at the money, and I looked back at him, and I handed it back to him. And I'm like, dude, you don't want to do this. Don't buy this fucking thing. Let me put it on eBay. And he's like, nah, I want it. So I try, man. I try to talk Nate into selling all his doubles and shit, man.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to me.
And I don't know. Maybe somebody, I don't know. I haven't looked. How much does a Make Toys Hound go for nowadays?
Make Toys Hound? I'm gonna go on eBay right this second. What was his name? Gundog, yeah. And I've got the dark green version.
I don't know why $75 pops in, but that's what it's popping in my head.
Let me go into the completed.
That would hurt my soul. $75.
Yeah, but you can make that all up with the Mythic Legions, like with quadruple profit.
I see some selling for $85.
Yeah, gross.
The
See,
most
I'd rather keep it.
Oh no, you know what, Nate? One sold for $200, and it was the dark green one. So you might be in some luck there. You might be in some luck if you're actually gonna sell that shit. But
was that
how
recent?
long ago?
Yeah.
Well, it's in the
months.
It's within a couple months because they take them shits offline after so long. So
do they?
Be within, yeah.
Oh yeah. What's the purge time to
live? If I look at my feedback, I'll probably be able to tell you.
Like a year or less than that?
I think it's less than a year.
Oh yeah, I didn't even really know that. Because I always look at within the last month or two, unless it's something like really out there, like a Vic 20 cartridge from the 80s.
I don't know, but you're right, Mike.
90 days. I can no longer click on the shit that's past 90.
3 months.
Actually, even less than that, because that's 6 months. Past 6 months. Yeah, there's a thing that says detailed information not available for the following items because the feedback is over 90 days old. So, but then there's a couple above that I can't click on the number either. Oh. So it might even be less than that. I don't know. But
so 3 month retention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Nate, sell that fucking thing, man. $200. Although the one that sold for $200, somebody has a couple of other ones. Like they have 3 of them and one of them sold. That's why it's showing up in the sold listings.
Yeah.
But
some of that stuff you have to be careful too, because if it says it's sold, sometimes it relists at a cheaper price because they didn't pay it.
Yep. Yeah, I had a lot of those in my. That's why I stopped doing it. I had a lot of sales that fell through because they got in a car accident. How many motherfuckers are getting in car accidents? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, sorry, bro, sorry.
Out of all the stuff I've sold, I've only had one problem, and that was I actually literally shipped it out to the address, and it never got to the address. Like they said something was up with the housing security or something, and the post office refused it. And I was like, man, that sounds kind of fishy. Yeah. So I never sent it back and canceled it, but that was it.
You know what's bullshit about eBay these days? Back in the day, man, if somebody fucked you on a sale and you were the seller and then they just decided not to buy it, you could blast them and give them negative feedback. You cannot give a buyer negative feedback anymore.
Yeah. That's sorry. I don't use eBay at all.
Yeah.
I like that site a whole lot better because you can still do stuff like you can say, hey, this guy didn't fucking rate me quick enough. You know, they have to pay for it first, of course, before you ship it out. And then you don't get your money till they get it, in hand and review you. Right. And they have 5 days to review you. And if they don't do it, then it auto reviews. But usually you're better off to review a good review as the person from you.
Yeah. Well, that's it, man.
And I'll tell you, man, out of all the people that I've talked to, had conversations with, I have not had one asshole. Everyone's been friendly, fellow collector, that type of stuff.
Right.
It's been really a really pleasant experience on that site. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
Well, that's it for Q&A. So, and we got 10 minutes to the witching hour.
Nice.
We can get out of here early. Anybody got anything in closing, Jed?
When you get that Metroplex, are you gonna try to fuck it in the ass? Will you
not right away?
Try to get it. Will you try a hand job from the man?
Yo, you seen the size of the hands on that fucking thing? You know.
Will you put that on TikTok?
I'm definitely gonna put something up on there.
Will you put it in ship mode and fuck on it like a table?
That's more of a possibility than actually fucking it.
Will you take it with you to work so you can drive in the carpool lane?
I probably will. I'm definitely gonna take them places. Like, there's a lot of opportunities to take funny pictures with a robot that is the size of a child. You know, like there's a lot of opportunity there.
You'd be like that guy that was taking photos of his freaking blow up doll in the park in different positions.
Well, you know, I mean, little weirder than
that is a little weirder.
It is a little weirder.
You're on picnic with your toy robot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a fuck doll. How the fuck is that weirder than a
How do they know? How they know it's a robot? They don't know what you do.
Nah, for all they know, it does shit. Vacuum shit.
What if it combines with a dick bird and does become a fucking machine?
The dick bird missile will probably actually be like the exact size it's supposed to be. See, look, we're already coming up with photo opportunities before the damn thing even comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jed, now we got 8 minutes. Do you have anything in closing?
No.
Nate, I just want a quick thank you for coming in and filling in for Levy for the week. It's always a pleasure to have an actual Transformer fan on the show. So. It was nice. It was nice hanging with you.
Likewise, thank you.
I'm offended by that comment.
He's offended because it's true.
I saw this awesome video of this Transformer and I canceled it because it looks derpy.
Terrible.
Yeah,
it does look derpy.
I got 2 things to say. I hated my Virtus and I canceled Skyfire. Next.
I also did cancel my Ultra Magnus too because of that.
Your X Transbots Ultra Magnus?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll wait for reviews on that before I get it. Yep. If I get it.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. You'll be able to get it too. It's not like it's Fans Toys and shit like that where everybody eats them all up. You'll be able to get one on the aftermarket. Like if you see reviews right away and get it right away, you'll be able to get one.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, do you have anything to add before we get out of here?
I have nothing to add. Thank you so much for having me. It was a delight.
Word. Well then, enough's enough. We're out.